anniversary, the tradition of fun of Kernels baseball. It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
Good Monday evening, Eastern Iowa, and all of you listening on the Internet. We are welcoming you to the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Kernels have won the first two games of their 8-game homestand, beating the South Bend Silverhawks in miserable, nasty conditions here Saturday night, 4-2. And then last night, the Kernels broke out of it in a big way offensively, clubbing the Silverhawks 10-5. That game featured 15 Kernel hits, 9 of which were for extra bases, and 4 came off the bat of Kernel left fielder Pat Riley, left fielder first baseman. That is, Pat's our guest here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and Pat had to lift the spirits of the ball club to kind of come out of it yesterday in terms of everybody contributing.
Yeah, I think everybody did feel pretty good about the game yesterday. It's one of those games where everybody just hits falling in for extra bases and just kind of smiles on the face of everybody, and everything just comes together. You don't usually have a ton of those games during the year, but it always gets everything kind of going after that. So.
It sure does. It builds momentum and confidence. And, Pat, as far as the performance that you turned in, you had 4 hits, and I believe one of them was a broken bat base hit, and I wanted to ask about that phenomenon of a broken bat. Where does a pitch have to come to break a hitter's bat? Is it always in on his hands? Could he break his bat on a pitch off the end of his bat, or could he break his bat when it hit his trademark? How do you break a bat?
Well, I've had my experience this year in breaking a couple of bats, and when I do that, they happen to kind of explode on me. I have had different problems with those or whatever, but most of the time when I break bats, it is off the end of the bat.
Off the end, not off the hands?
Most of the time off the end. A lot of times it's with a changeup or a breaking ball, and last night actually it was a fastball in, so it was the opposite of normal, but I had 2 strikes on me and kind of looking something like he was going to throw me something off speed away, which they've been trying to do a lot, and he got one pretty in tight on the hands, and it just got right in there, and so I was lucky enough to get a hit out of it, so that bat ended a wounded soldier in it.
Yeah, you fought off that pitch in on your hands, and you said that guys are pitching you outside and off speed. In other words, you're already picking up trends that pitchers are employing to try to either pitch to what they perceive as a weakness or stay away from your strength.
I think it has to do with a couple things. We don't really know anybody in the league. It's the first time coming around. I've been hitting a 3-hole a lot, so most of the time they're not going to want to give me a real good pitch to hit, inside fastball, namely. And also probably my batting stance. I'm pretty close to the plate in an open stance, so, I mean, you first guess you would say that away I wouldn't really like the ball away to him, so.
And yet you've countered that with a number of hits into left field. In other words, you're taking those pitches the other way. You're not getting yourself out by trying to pull everything.
Yeah, I've kind of wisened up over the years and figured out that there's a lot of success just trying to hit the ball at the middle, and when I do that, a lot of times balls end up going to left field or even, center and left, so.
Pat, it'd be interesting to know, too, yesterday was a day game. It was partly cloudy, partly sunny, just an unpredictable afternoon. With all the hits, we had 15, South Bend had 14. As a hitter, do you think it's worth 10 points on your batting average if you played 140 games during the day? I've heard hitters say that they can see the ball better at daytime. What are your thoughts?
It kind of depends on where you're playing at. I've played in certain places where you really want to play in day games because you can see the ball really well, and I've played in places where at night they have like a really good light setup where it doesn't really affect you that much, but then again we've played at places where it's real bad old lights, and it's just, or like a lot of times you'll play and they'll have advertisements right around all around the fields, and there'll be white advertisements for some reason right in center fields, right where, I mean, it's just tough to pick up a lot of times. I remember last year in Orem, Utah, we had a Phillips 66 sign right above the center field fence. So I did a little advertising for them, not on purpose, but
No, because it bothered you.
Yeah, you see the ball coming right out of a bright white sign.
Pat Riley is with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and we're talking a lot about hitting, and let's keep on that track for a second, Pat. When I watch Major League games, and during the day, I'll see quite a few hitters now wearing the Oakley sunglasses. That was unheard of 10, 15 years ago. You played at the University of Arizona in Tucson, where I'm sure you played under very bright daylight, sunshine. Have you ever tinkered with batting with sunglasses on during the day, and why do you think some big leaguers choose to do that?
I think that a lot of times guys, they wear them on the field, and for you to take them off and put them on, I think that might have something to do with it, because it definitely, that change in the light really, I mean, you go from wearing sunglasses, being able to have your eyes open on the field, and then you come in, take them off, and then you have the bright light back in your eyes. So it might just be consistent light all the time, and I guess that would help stay in the ball. So
sure, that makes a lot of sense. They don't want to go through the contrast of field and then at the plate. We can relate to that just as normal citizens when we take our sunglasses on and off. Pat, you leveled the catcher yesterday in the middle innings, lowered your shoulder. It was a difficult running play for you because Jordan Renz hit a towering fly ball. Just missed being a two-run homer off the very top of the wall. You knew Bobby Magallanes was going to send you, and you did what any good player does, is you tried to score any way possible, and that has to be something that really you don't think about as a base runner. You just decide instinctively what the best way to the plate is. Sometimes it's sliding, sometimes it's trying to go on the backside, and yesterday it was trying to go through the catcher.
Yeah, especially with the way we've been playing, it's very aggressive base running, so you're a little bit more ready to do that. And, I mean, the guy just dropped it. When he rounded me around third, I figured, well, hopefully I'll be standing up, but when I saw the catcher looking like I was going to be out by quite a bit, I figured that I had to kind of get everything together and deliver the blow instead of take one.
And he was a good sport about it, too. He knew that he was blocking the plate and that you had no choice.
Yeah, actually, the funny thing is he's a very good friend of mine that I went to college with.
Richard Mercado?
Yes, Richard Mercado.
Have you talked to him since the collision?
Yeah, I went to dinner with him last night. So.
Wow, now there's the story of the whole interview, Pat. Did you share a few laughs over it, or were there any hard feelings?
No, we both laughed about it. Just a crazy coincidence, the fact that all the catchers in the league, and I get the one chance so far that we've seen to clean out one of my good friends. The only bad thing is that I know him, and he is built like an ox. So
he's a big guy.
Yeah, that's not exactly the person that you want to have to run into at home plate.
Well, Pat, thanks for sharing that. We're going to take a time out here from South Slope Communications, our sponsor, and have a final word with the Kernel leading hitter and RBI man who had 4 hits in the Kernel win yesterday, Pat Riley. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Patrick Riley, who helped the Kernel offense immensely with 4 big hits in the 10-5 Kernel win yesterday, is our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. And Pat, I wanted to finish things up by you telling us a little bit about your background, being from Nevada, but going to college in Tucson at the University of Arizona. How did that happen?
Just a strange, another coincidence.
Did you send them tape of you, or how did they see or recruit you?
No, just pretty much the way everybody else gets recruited, just kind of word of mouth, or they got to see me play at a showcase or something. But late in the summer, like that summer going into college, I signed very late to go to college, but they came out and saw me play, and they said, we want you down here. So just kind of happened late, playing in a summer league just near my house, kind of Carson City, and just kind of worked out. So.
Are you a kind of guy who thinks later in life you'd like to settle in the Southwest, or have you seen enough of the Midwest to think, hey, maybe there's other parts of the country that would be appealing?
I'm pretty much open for anything, wherever opportunity lies, I guess. Likes what I've seen so far. I've spent some time in Chicago, probably more than anywhere else. I really like Chicago. Southwest, I was kind of split time in my life between Southern California and northern Nevada, so I know the West Coast very well. I'm more familiar with that, but yeah, wherever the wind takes me, I guess.
That's great as a young guy who has a great future that you're open-minded about it, Pat. Thank you so much for giving of your time. And, one last thing. The kids from Viola Gibson School, the place you visited with us a week and a half ago, many of them recognized you yesterday. One of the little girls wanted to be your Cost Cutters Dream Team baseball buddy on the field for the national anthem because she remembered you from Viola Gibson.
I did get a chance to talk to her out there, and I made sure that I was checking up on the reading program, which I went out there to talk to him about, and she said that she already had gotten a couple bases, so she was well on her way, so it's always good to hear. The only bad thing is she told me that her main goal is to get the baseball, and I think that was only one of the second goals on the list, and I think that's the problem with a lot of younger kids. Yeah, well, we'll get them going towards that metal lunchbox and then the 1,000-minute too. Pat, thank you so much. Here's a $5 gift certificate for you to enjoy at any of our Zio Giano's Italian spaghetti houses. Perfect pasta, homemade bread, the best in Italian cuisine. In fact, your teammates will tell you that Zio Giano's has the pasta that will make you sing. Pat Riley, please accept this certificate from Zio Giano's, and thank you so much for being our guest here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Thank you very much, and I don't turn down free food, so this will be great. Thank you.
Not many young professionals do. You guys need it. Up next, this is Nurses Recognition Night. There'll be over 400, 500 nurses here from the area on Nurses Recognition Week, and hot dogs are just $1. The Kernels and Silverhawks, Game 3 of a 4-game series. I'll have the starting lineups when we return here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Well, Monday evening greetings, everyone. We welcome you to Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's Nurses Recognition Night, and over 500 nurses from the area, including Mercy Medical Center and St. Luke's Hospital here in Cedar Rapids and the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics are on hand to be recognized and thanked. In fact, we'll have visits throughout the evening periodically from nurses on this special night. It's the beginning of Nurses Week nationwide. The Kernels even their record in the first half at 12-12 with a 10-5 pounding of the South Bend Silverhawks yesterday. Viola Gibson Day here at the ballpark, and they wrapped out 15 hits. You heard from one of the Kernel stars, Patrick Riley, just moments ago on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Pat raised his average to a team-high 325 with 4 hits. The Kernel opponents, the Arizona Diamondback minor leaguers, the South Bend Silverhawks, their record is 9-15, and they're 9 games off the blistering pace being set by the Lansing Lugnuts in the Eastern Division of the Midwest League first half standings. The Kernel record of 12-12 puts the Kernels in 3rd place in the 8-team Western Division standings. The Kernels are a half game back of Peoria and 1 game back of both Beloit and Kane County. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are taking the field. They're the sons and daughters of nurses that are on hand here tonight. Let's set the starting lineup for Game 3 of this 4-game set that has seen the Kernels win 4-2 Saturday night and 10-5 yesterday. Mark Haley's the second-year skipper of the Silverhawks. He guided them to the Midwest League title last year. 46 years old. He spent 13 seasons as a coach and manager with the White Sox, and he was a member of the Nebraska Cornhusker 1980 Big 8 championship team. Mark Haley. His staff, Wellington Cepeda is his pitching coach, and former Midwest League All-Star Todd Dunwoody is the South Bend hitting coach. Leading off for the Silverhawks, the shortstop, Pedro Ciriaco. He leads the league with 33 hits in 24 games and also leads the league in runs scored with 20. Ciriaco batting .347. Leyson Séptimo is in right field. He'll bat second. Séptimo had 3 hits yesterday. He has 5 hits in the series. In center field, the first player taken in last year's draft, 18-year-old Justin Upton. Upton belted a 2-run homer in the first inning yesterday to put South Bend ahead. Justin Upton is batting third in center for the Silverhawks. His home run was his first as a professional. The cleanup man for the Silverhawks is their first baseman, Brian Byrne. Orlando Mercado will catch and bat fifth. He's the son of a former big leaguer and a fella now who is the Los Angeles Angel bullpen coach. Orlando Mercado Jr. behind the plate, batting fifth. Hitting sixth is Frank Carreri from the University of Massachusetts. The DH had 3 hits yesterday. The third baseman, Trey Hendricks, out of Harvard, will bat seventh. Batting eighth is Manuel Fair. Fair is at second base, hitting eighth, and batting ninth, Greg Thompson for South Bend. On the hill is a lefty, Ryan Schreppel, S-C-H-R-E-P-P-E-L. Schreppel was an 8th-round pick by Arizona last year out of Cal State Fullerton. And in 4 starts this year, Ryan Schreppel has pitched well. He's won 1, lost 2, a 4.30 ERA. He beat Clinton in his previous start Wednesday night at Kovalevsky Stadium in South Bend. In that start, Ryan Schreppel pitched 7 innings, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 2, walked 4. 21-year-old lefty from Cal State Fullerton, Ryan Schreppel, on the hill this evening for the visitors. Allen Motor Company is proud to present the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Allen's is open until 9 o'clock this evening. Visit their spectacular 13-acre campus at I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. Allen's is open until 9 o'clock. You can also visit their virtual showroom on their website. That's www.allenmotor.com. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup has Brad Kuhn in center. Leading off, Brad drew a walk in the first inning yesterday that keyed the Kernel 4-run first frame. Batting second, Heinle Stacia. He's recovering from a knee problem. He's missed the last 2 Kernel games. Stacia will hit second and play shortstop. Batting third, our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. 4 hits yesterday, raising his average to a team-high 325. Pat Riley in left field. The Kernel cleanup man in the Allen Motor Company lineup is designated hitter Jordan Renz. Jordan had a pair of doubles and a home run yesterday. Brett Martinez walked and scored in the first, singled in a run in the second. Brett will catch and hit fifth. Hitting sixth is Flint Whipke. Whipke is the Kernel right fielder. Flint tripled and doubled yesterday. Mark Trumbo belted a 2-run double in the first inning. They vault the Kernels into a 4-2 lead, an advantage they would never relinquish in the 10-5 victory. Trumbo hit seventh at first base. Dallas Morris with 2 hits yesterday, 4 in the series. Dallas will be back at third base after playing second the last 2 games. Morris will bat eighth. And batting ninth out of Boston College, second baseman Marco Albano. On the hill for the Kernels, rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, is right-hander 21-year-old Moose Mosebach. Moose was a 9th-round pick by the Angels last year. He's 6'4", 195. Moose Mosebach out of Hillsborough Community College in Tampa, Florida. Mosebach is 1-0 on the year, making his 5th start, a 2.08 ERA for Moose Mosebach. Moose last pitched Wednesday in Lansing against the Lugnuts, and he was not involved in a Kernel 13-inning 4-2 loss, not involved in the decision, but he sure pitched well. Mosebach went 7 innings, on Wednesday in Lansing. Allowed only 2 runs on just 6 hits, struck out 3 and walked 4. Moose Mosebach is on the hill, a right-hander for the Kernels. The lineups have been turned into the umpires in their gray slacks and navy blue knit tops, and the umpires are sponsored by Anderson & Brown Eye Care. Things are coming into focus at Anderson & Brown Eye Care's new facility on Boyson Road in Hiawatha. Evening and Saturday hours, Anderson & Brown Eye Care is also a wheelchair-accessible building. That includes the exam rooms. Anderson & Brown Eye Care provides full-service eye care, including a complete exam and then fitting of glasses and contact lenses. Doctors Anderson and Brown welcome you into their new facility where things are coming into focus at Anderson Brown Eye Care. The Kernels are dashing out of their first base dugout in their white home uniforms, navy blue caps, red bills, and the Kernels are 6-3 here at home this April, or this spring. We're May 1st now, but this spring the Kernels have won 6 of 9, including the first 2 in this game, in this series, 4-2 Saturday night under a constant shower and wind and cold. The Kernels prevailed 4-2 Saturday night and then had 9 extra base hits out of 15. 9 were extra bases yesterday in a 10-5 drubbing of the Silverhawks. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are out on the field as the Kernels sign the Cost Cutter logo soft toss baseballs that Cost Cutters provides them with. And we're just about set to join the introduction of our national anthem singer. We'll have an announcement from Wendy's, and then we'll pick up the announcement from our public address announcer, Dale Brote, who will introduce our national anthem singer. It's an overcast evening, 63 degrees, the lights are on, and now let's join the field microphone for the introduction of our national anthem singer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. It is being performed this evening by Vicki King.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, as the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
On Nurses Recognition Night, that's Vicki King singing the national anthem. The lights are on here, and it's an overcast evening, but the Kernels have been used to playing under these conditions at home. Hopefully we'll see Mr. Sunshine pretty soon. Our Hampshire play ball kids are down below, and they're about to bellow out those most magical words in baseball that get all baseball games started. There are play ball kids, and we'll turn up our crowd mic in just a moment so that you can hear the proclamation from those Hampshire play ball kids. Let's listen in right now.
Two play ball kids tonight. We've got Brandon Beatty from Halo, and celebrating his 10th birthday here tonight. Let's give a round of applause and honor Cedar.
There we go, the play ball kids brought to us by Hampshire Auditorium. They did a great job. Moose Mosebach is ready to go on the hill, and as I said, we'll be delighted to be welcoming nurses this evening. Our first guest will be Dr. Linda Everett. She should be here in the second inning from the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. There's action all across the big leagues, and later on this evening we'll have scores for you on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We'll take your calls during the seventh inning this evening, in all likelihood, for the Springhouse family trivia question and our baseball fun fact. We'll have a interesting note about the parent club of these South Bend Silverhawks, our opponents in this series, the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Kernels have played good defense this year, making 31 errors in 24 games. South Bend has made 45 errors in 24 games. The Kernel team ERA is the third lowest in the league. The Kernels tied for third in pitching with a team earned run average of 2.98. The gray uniform-clad visiting South Bend Silverhawks are ready to go in their first at-bat against Moose Mosebach, and we're glad you're with us here on 1450 KMRY, the Kernel Radio Network. Pedro Ciriaco, right-handed batter, with a .347 average. Takes a fastball for a strike called at the letters from Moose Mosebach. And we're underway as the Kernels try to make it 3 straight over South Bend. Ciriaco was 2 for 5 yesterday. He tripled in a run in the 6th inning, and there's a pitch outside from Mosebach for ball 1. The outfield plays Pedro straight away. He's a 20-year-old right-handed batter, black batting helmet, and a pair of black batting gloves. Mosebach's 1-1 is dribbled foul to the on-deck circle for Leyson Séptimo. Nudges it away. Ciriaco, a right-handed hitter, only 6 feet tall, slightly built, 150 pounds, yet he leads this league in hits and runs scored. And he slaps one to the shortstop, Heinle Stacia. Heinle looks it into his mitt and throws out the speedster Ciriaco, 1 away here in the top of the first inning. Pedro Ciriaco, who's the table setter for the Silverhawks, is grounded out to shortstop Heinle Stacia. The Kernels go with our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest, Pat Riley in left, Brad Coons in center, and Flint Whipke in right. An infield of Morris at third, Stacia at short, Marco Albano from Boston College at second. He's making his Kernel home debut, and Mark Trumbo at first. Ball 1, down and in, almost hits Leyson Séptimo, who's been a handful in this series. He has 5 hits. Make it 6 as he dumps one down the left field line in front of Pat Riley, and Séptimo has worn the Kernels out. He went the other way and dumped it down the left field line for his 6th hit of the series. Riley fielded it on one hop near the line and held Leyson Séptimo to a 1-out single here in the top of the first inning. 6 hits for a fella hitting .244. He's just been impossible to retire in this series. Justin Upton, 2-run homer in the first yesterday and an RBI single in the ninth. He drove in 3 of the Silverhawk 5 runs. He waits a throw to first, and Séptimo is back standing up. Now Moose is set at the letters, fires, and a ground ball foul past third, and it looks like Justin Upton broke his bat. He did, and as he heads back down the path connecting the dirt batting circle to the third base Silverhawk dugout, we want to thank Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm. Those are our sponsors in the 8th annual summer reading program. Nick Aidenhart, Kernel 19-year-old pitcher, joined myself and the Gazette and Toyota Financial Services in encouraging youngsters at Garfield Elementary School and Nixon Elementary to read this spring and summer. We visited Garfield and Nixon on behalf of Toyota Financial Services, the Cedar Rapids Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm. Upton back at the plate in the hole, 0-1. Justin's a right-handed hitter. Séptimo runs in a perfectly placed hit-and-run single into right field, has Leyson Séptimo speeding to third, standing up. Justin Upton, just 18 years old, shows why he was the first player taken in last year's draft, as he dumped a single in front of Flint Whipke in right, a hit-and-run single, and Leyson Séptimo sped to third without a play. That's a beautiful thing to watch, whether the Kernels execute it or, in this case, we tip our cap to the Silverhawks. Hit-and-run. Marco Albano left his second base slot to cover second base itself, and Upton looped it into shallow right for a hit-and-run single. Thing of beauty to watch. Now Brett Martinez has stepped out in front of home plate. He's flashing a series of signals to his middle infielders. That's in case the Silverhawks try a double steal. South Bend is tied for 9th in the league, 9th of 14 teams in stolen bases. They have 19 steals in 24 games. A pitch outside, a ball, a snap throw to third, and no tag by Dallas Morris as Séptimo gets back safely. Brian Byrne, B-Y-R-N-E, is the batter, left-handed hitter, out of St. Mary's College in California. Colonel infield is at double play depth as Mosebach is in a jam here in the top of the first inning. First and third, one away. Ball 2 down and in to Brian Byrne. 274 hitter, 1 homer, 11 RBIs. Byrne walked and scored in the third inning yesterday. Séptimo at third, Upton at first. The 2-0 to Byrne. Instead, a look to third and then a look to first by Robert Moose Mosebach. Moose wears his white home pants all the way down to the ankle level. You can see just a hair of his red socks. Byrne, a left-handed batter with an open stance, looks at strike one, a belt-high fastball from Robert Mosebach. We're just underway. The lights are on, and it's wonderful to see all the nurses here. A throw to first, and Upton just did get backhand first, and underneath the tag of Mark Trumbo. Brian Byrne, 6'3", 200 pounds, swings at a tailing fastball and misses strike two. Well, it was 2-0, and now Moose Mosebach, the tall, lanky Colonel 21-year-old right-hander, has come back to even the count at 2-2. A throw to first, and Upton back standing up. Tomorrow evening is a Triple Play Tuesday. Your choice of a hamburger or cheeseburger, beverage, and chips for only $5. 6:30 start. There goes the runner from first. Mosebach throws to second. Marco Albano now chases the runner back to third, runs him towards the plate, and he bangs into Martinez. Brett held the throw. Out is the runner trying to steal home. Down to second goes Justin Upton. And that's a perfect illustration of why the Kernels work tirelessly, hours at home before games, on that very rundown double steal type play. Mosebach stepped off the rubber, threw to first, and they had Upton picked off. And then Albano, actually Mosebach never threw to first. He stepped off the rubber, threw to Marco Albano. Albano then ran the runner Upton back to first. Meanwhile, Séptimo tried to score. He was thrown out, caught stealing. 2 gone now in the first inning. What a big, big pickoff / rundown, caught stealing. It goes now a ground ball to third. Dallas Morris has it and throws the batter out. Momentum for the Kernels. Big momentum for the Kernels. Brian Byrne slapped it to third, and Dallas Morris threw him out to end the inning. Let's give you that caught stealing again. It went Mosebach to Albano to Martinez, and Brett took a hard shot from Leyson Séptimo, who rammed into him, lowered his shoulder. It goes 1-4-2. No runs in the first for South Bend. 2 hits. They had runners at the corners with only 1 out. Did not score. There were no Colonel errors. The Silverhawks leave one aboard, and after one half inning, South Bend nothing, Kernels coming up. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little W's...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
The Kernels get out of a very, very, very harrowing jam in the top of the first due to a terrific pickoff move by Mosebach. He stepped off the rubber with runners at first and third, got the runner at first, Justin Upton, hung up between first and second, threw to Marco Albano threw home, and the runner from third, Séptimo, tried to score. He was out. The next man with a runner at second, Upton, grounded to third, and here we are in the bottom of the first inning, and ball one just misses from lefty Ryan Schreppel to Brad Kuhn. A bouncer to the right side, may sneak through. The second baseman gloves and shallow right, throws, not in time. Oh, what an effort by Manuel Frere, but Brad Kuhn, a left-handed batter, was just too speedy out of the left side, and he beats out an infield single. Brad Kuhn got the Kernel 4-run first started yesterday with a walk, and he scored. And he's aboard with his first hit of this series, grounded it into the hole, and Manuel Frere, F-E-R-R-E-R, made a very good play to his left, threw from shallow right field from the grass, but couldn't get Kuhn. Now Heinle Stacia takes low for ball one. More and more nurses keep filing in on Nurses Recognition Night. Stacia was lifted in the series finale Friday night in Lansing, and he did not play in the first two games of this series due to a bad knee. Heinle pops one up. There'll be a play for the first baseman. Brian Byrne has it drop in fair or foul ground. Is that a fair or foul ball? Foul ball, and it drops for a strike. The Kernels get a huge break. The easiest of chances. The wind is not a factor for the first time in this series, and Brian Byrne came together with the lefty Ryan Schreppel, and Heinle Stacia was running down the line, and it landed foul about 5 feet in front of the bag at first. The 1-1 to Stacia. Strike two called on the inside corner, a changeup. Schreppel is not a big guy. The southpaw is listed at 6'2", 195, and he's making his fifth start of the year. Stacia, a switch hitter batting right-handed with a wide stance, waits a throw to first, and Brad Kuhn, who is tops on the team with 6 steals, he's only been caught twice, is back standing up. No score, and we're in the bottom of the first inning. Stacia, with a slightly open stance, uses a black lacquer bat. A throw to first, and again, Kuhn back standing up. The outfield for the Silverhawks has Greg Thompson in left, Justin Upton in center, and Leyson Séptimo in right. They're playing the switch-hitting Stacia batting right to pull. There's a huge gap in right center for Heinle. Schreppel comes set. Kuhn goes. The throw to first. They should have him picked off. Brad is thrown out on a pickoff by the first baseman, who heaved it down to the shortstop, Pedro Ciriaco, and that caught stealing goes pitcher, first baseman, shortstop. 1-3-6. Brad Kuhn picked off. And now Stacia still ahead on the count, 2 balls. No, it should be 1 ball, 2 strikes. The scoreboard says 2-1. I think it's 1-2. Heinle ropes one into right. Coming on near the line, Séptimo, and he has it. Heinle, Stacia sliced it off the end of the bat and flies to right. 2 away here in the Kernel first inning for Patrick Riley. Patrick's using an all-white ash bat this evening. He used a 2-tone color bat with a black barrel yesterday to collect 4 hits and 5 trips. Pat had 2 RBIs. He scored 2 runs, and he lifted his average with the 4-hit afternoon to .325. Base is empty, 2 gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Big gap in right center for Patrick Riley. The lefty's first pitch drops in for a strike, a fastball. Ryan Schreppel wears a long-sleeved black shirt underneath his South Bend gray road top, and the Silverhawks wear black hats and black socks. Breaking pitch just missed as the lefty wanted the call, didn't get it from the plate umpire. Riley leads the Kernels with 16 RBIs. Pat has bopped 1 home run and has 4 triples. The 1-1 is ripped into center for a 2-out single. Pat Riley adds to his .325 average. The Kernels have their second hit of the first inning. That one was hit like a bullet right through the middle on a line. Justin Upton, who had 2 errors yesterday, played it cleanly in center field for South Bend. Now Schreppel, the lefty, behind the rubber on the backside of the hill, goes to the rosin bag after tightening his shoelaces. No score. We're in the home half of the first, and Jordan Renz is now the batter. Renz had 2 doubles and a home run in the Kernel win yesterday. There goes the runner Riley. A swing and a miss, and Pat steals the base, standing up. Stolen base for Patrick Riley, his 6th of the year, to tie him for the team lead. Jordan Renz protecting Riley, swung at a changeup and missed, strike 1. So with 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning on Nurse's Recognition Night, the Kernels have a man in scoring position. Schreppel checks Riley and brings it to Renz. A changeup drops in for a strike. That one was clocked at 70 miles an hour on the Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator right below the scoreboard, the 4-story high scoreboard in right center with the Kernel crest sitting atop the LED video board sponsored by Rockwell Collins. The 0-2 to Jordan, pumped foul into the suites to our right. We have a fun broadcast planned for you this evening. Besides the usual baseball and Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the baseball fun fact, we'll have a parade of distinguished servants to our community, including Dr. Linda Everett. She'll be here from University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics in the second inning. Renz waits on a changeup and bloops it foul onto the grandstand roof. Last year, I had the pleasure of meeting a real lively, energetic, fun gal, B.J. Hannon. And B.J. was here this evening from University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics to welcome the crowd in her Hawkeye black jacket and her gold trim and her sparkling blonde hair. Here's a pitch high to Jordan Renz, ball 1. We work with Shelley Labesheimer, Linda Chase, B.J. Hannon. They all bring the troops up 70 strong from Iowa City tonight. 1-2 to Renz, the Kernel cleanup hitter, hitting .284. Schreppel comes set, checks Riley and brings it. Curve and a tip foul into the mid of the catcher, Mercado. Renz has gone on strikes, and the Kernels threaten but do not score here in the opening frame. no runs, 2 hits, a man Kuhn picked off first. There were no South Bend errors. The Kernels leave a runner stranded at second. As we go to the second inning, and again, stay tuned, Dr. Linda Everett, Associate Director and Chief of Nursing in the Department of Nursing Services and Patient Care, we'll have her decipher that title for us. She'll be with us in the second inning. After 1 on Nurses Recognition Night, Kernels nothing, Silverhawks nothing. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You, Susan Smith. It just says he's going to You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you single. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wig from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
Moose Mosebach, the Kernel starter, right-hander, is ready to go here in the top of the second, and he's facing Orlando Mercado, an extreme pronounced open stance, wears his gray road trousers, baggy down near his shoe tops. Mercado takes high for ball 1. Orlando didn't play yesterday. He smacks one on 3 hops to second. Booted by Albano. Marco recovers with his bare hand and throws out Orlando Mercado 1 away. We look forward to this date, May 1st. It's our second annual Nurses Recognition Night, and alongside a distinguished guest, Dr. Linda Everett. Linda, thank you so much for taking time out of your unbelievable busy duties down in Iowa City to join us.
Well, thank you for inviting us. We're having a great time out here at the ballpark.
Good. Hot dogs are just $1.
They are. We've had a few.
Last year, beer was just $1.
What night was that?
I hear you. That was fun last year, too. And, Linda, you're wearing a very inspirational shirt as ball 1 is low to Frank Carreri, left-handed batter with 3 hits yesterday. Nurses rock, and it's black and gold. And then tell us what your cap says, too. Nurses Care for Iowa.
Nurses
All right.
Care for Iowa.
Boy, that's
our trademark at the University of Iowa, hospitals and clinics.
And I've met so many people, Linda, who come from all over the world, region, and state to have their problem diagnosed and cared for, treated, and solved at your hospital.
Absolutely. We have an international patient population right here in Iowa.
That's inspirational. Carreri fouls one away and now lifts one way back and left. Pat Riley in front of the track has it. Frank Carreri out of the University of Massachusetts, skies to left for the second out here in the second. No score. Dr. Everett, what do you do at Iowa? I'm sure you wear a lot of hats, but could you put in layperson's terms what your duties are?
I'm an associate director for the hospital. I report to the director of the hospital and CEO, Donna Caton-Behensky.
One of the most influential people in this state.
Absolutely. And Donna couldn't be with us this evening because she's at the reception for Dr. David Scorton over at the campus. But I'm an associate director of her senior leadership team, and my primary responsibility is chief nursing officer, which means I'm the administrator for all the nursing services.
And how many nurses do you direct and oversee? Is it hundreds or thousands?
Thousands. It's about 1,500.
1,500. It's 0-2 to the left-handed hitting Trey Hendricks. Ironic that we're talking about one of the best hospitals in the world. Hendricks is a Harvard man, one of the few Ivy Leaguers in this league, and he's batting .198, left-handed hitter, a homer, 8 RBIs, bases empty, 2 gone here in the second. change up, whacked foul. That'll wake up his teammates who are leaning over the rail. Dr. Everett, it's always interesting to hear. My dad was a surgeon, a general surgeon. He was lucky to have a dad who he followed around and as a doctor, and that's my dad knew when he was 8 years old he wanted to be a surgeon. Here's a line drive past a diving Marco Albano into right center. Flint Whipke goes over to his right to cut it off and get it back into Albano, the cutoff man. Trey Hendricks has wrapped a sharp single into center, the third hit of the night for South Bend. What was your calling to be a nurse?
When I got out of high school, I went to work for the summer in a hospital in my hometown.
Which was?
Grant Hospital in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
And I saw what nurses were doing. I worked a night shift. I got all around the hospital, and I really caught the bug, so to speak, and became interested in becoming a nurse and went on to nursing school, and that's been my career.
When you catch the bug, there's no other feeling. I don't care if it's a paycheck or your love life, whatever you want to compare it, there's no other feeling like helping another human being.
Absolutely. And I saw what these, and they were all women at that time, I saw what they were doing for other people and the compassion and the caring, and I just absolutely became enthusiastic about it and have been doing it ever since.
Compassion and caring, those are two C's that we all can relate to. A big swing and a miss by Manuel Ferrer. No homers this year, but he was going for the downs on that one. Manuel is ahead in the count 2-1. Right-handed batter, 1 on, 2 away. We're in the top of the second. No score. Kernels and Silverhawks. And we're glad you left Buckeye Land, Linda, to join us in Iowa City. At what age did you move to Iowa City?
Well, actually, I spent a significant amount of time in Michigan. So I actually moved from Detroit over here, and my husband and I have been here about 7.5 years.
I've been here 11 years, and I wouldn't trade the so-called quality of life for any place else.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
A 2-2 pitch is hit sharply foul. That one doinks off the Miller Mezzanine Terrace above the Colonel first base dugout down into the bleachers. Dr. Everett, it's never easy to take those many, many steps it takes to earn the distinction of Dr. Linda Everett. Did you go the route of learning and going to school and working all at the same time?
Absolutely. I was a diploma nursing graduate many years ago, and then went for a baccalaureate degree while I was working full-time. And then for a master's degree, working full-time, and then for a doctorate degree at the University of Michigan, all working full-time and raising a family.
I don't know how you did it. I don't know how people do it other than that calling and that drive to say, this is my passion. If you don't have the passion, you're not going to do that.
Absolutely.
A 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled up into the suites to our right. Dr. Linda Everett is with us from the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. And Dr. Everett, do you still get to do what I sense that you got the bug, you said, when you were younger in Columbus, Ohio? Do you still get to work the floor at all, or are you helping oversee it all as an administrator?
Well, as an administrator, my job now is administrative in terms of strategic planning and oversight.
The big picture.
The big picture, yes.
With the details.
Yes, absolutely. But I have an extraordinary staff of nurses, both at the bedside and on the administrative level, that actually know that detail inside and out, from the patient's bedside all the way up through the budgeting process. And they're just absolutely exceptional. And that's how I'm able to do my job every day, is relying on their information.
I want to make an analogy. We're going to keep it right here because we have a little bit of time to tinker with this evening. We'll be taking a commercial break after the Kernels bat in their second. A swing and a miss by Manuel Ferrer, and he strikes out to end the second. No runs in the second for South Bend. 1 hit, a 2-out single. There were no Colonel errors. The Silverhawks leave a runner aboard. They've stranded a pair. Dr. Linda Everett's here with us, one of several nurses that has been kind enough to share time with us here on the Kernel Radio Network to talk about the profession. And Dr. Everett, the nursing has a double-edged sword. It gives you the reward of helping and caring, but it's a lot like being an educator or a teacher. How do you keep your nurses from burning out because they give so much of themselves?
Well, we have a philosophy at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics of work-life balance, and we try to really work with the nursing staff to, we know they're balancing both their personal lives, young children in many cases. Sometimes it's children and aging parents. And so we try to work with their schedules, and we try to accommodate their own personal lifestyle. We reward and recognize our nursing staff.
Isn't that important?
Absolutely important.
And like I say, a pat on the back or a genuine, John, we really appreciate the job you did. That'll send me on a cloud for a week.
We're going to celebrate National Nurses Week starting on May 6th, and we do a lot of celebrating and recognition during that week. But we like to pride ourselves at the University of Iowa that we recognize and reward our nursing staff throughout the year.
Yes, not just Nurses Recognition Week, although we're glad you're doing that. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. Brett Martinez, the Colonel catcher, will be first up against the southpaw Ryan Schreppel out of Cal State Fullerton, and a fastball is high to Brett. Martinez played an instrumental role in the Colonel 10-5 win here yesterday. Brett walked and scored in the first, and then he singled in a run in the Colonel 3-run second inning. He was 1 for 4, and he fouls one straight back to even the count 1-1. Martinez, Whipkey, Trumbo here in the Colonel's second. No score early on. It's just past the top of the hour, and you're tuned to 1450 KMRY, Cedar Rapids. Overcast, 62-degree evening, lights are on, and the 1-1 to Martinez. Swing, and he dribbles it foul off the chest protector of the catcher Mercado, strike 2. Dr. Everett, thank you for explaining how the hospital has in place a philosophy to refresh, reinvigorate, reward, thank, and not burn out your staff. B.J. Hannon used an interesting term when she welcomed the crowd this evening about 40 minutes ago. Ooh, a check swing by Martinez, and the pitch rattles into the screen for strike 2. Your hospital, the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics, is a magnet hospital. What does that mean?
A magnet hospital is a hospital that has been designated by the American Nurses Credentialing Center as being excellent in nursing practice.
Swing and a miss by Martinez on the slow curve, one out here in the second. Is it something that they come and a board analyzes and observes, or do you apply for the distinction?
We apply for it. We do written documents. The documents are reviewed, and then they make a site visit.
Oh, they make a site visit?
Right, absolutely. And they spend 2 or 3 days in the facility talking to the staff nurses, talking to physicians, administrators, and observing the nursing care firsthand.
Wow. And I would imagine here's a high pop foul by Flint Whipkey, a 268 hitter. 1 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the second, no score. Game 3, Kernels against the South Bend Silverhawks. And the Kernels are facing lefty Ryan Schreppel, who winds his 0-1 to Flint, is corked down the line and left for extra bases. Greg Thompson races into the corner, slides, comes up throwing, and Flint slides into second, feet first, with a 1-out double. Flint Whipkey, who had a triple and double yesterday, has mashed a double, pulling it fair down the left field line, and Whipkey's in scoring position with only 1 out here in the second inning. Flint Whipkey with his 5th double of the season, and he's in scoring position for slugging Mark Trumbo. Trumbo belted a 2-run double over the head of Justin Upton in the first inning yesterday, and that 2-run double vaulted the Kernels into a 4-2 lead. Mark socked a 2-run homer in the first inning here on Saturday night. Let's see if Trumbo can measure this crafty lefty. Ball 1 outside. And Dr. Everett, how many or few magnet designations are there in the whole country?
Well, in the whole country, there are about 200 now. There are 6,000 hospitals in the country, and there are a couple of international sites as well.
All right. The 1-0 to Trumbo. Long look by the southpaw. And, a borderline pitch just low for ball 2. Dr. Everett, as we look down the right field line at our beautiful Tri-Vision signs, you can see the black and gold of the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. You can see the blue and gold, the royal blue and gold of the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. And we are so proud that you have that kind of dominant presence here in the ballpark. And I'm going to share some good news with you here in just a moment. The 2-0 from Trumbo. Line shot on 1 hop to the shortstop. Ciriaco looks, throws high, wild throw, and Whipkey goes to third. Trumbo reaches as Ciriaco looked looked Whipkey back to second, but then had too much on his peg, and whoops, it sailed over the head of Brian Byrne. The Silverhawks get a break as the ball caromed off the railing of the Colonel first base dugout, and Trumbo had to hold it first. He reaches on a throwing error. That's the 14th error committed by Pedro Ciriaco, and now we have a discussion on the mound. Mark Haley, the skipper of the Silverhawks, is walking across the third base foul line, headed towards the pitching mound, and he's being restrained, not in a heated way. The two umpires are pointing to the Colonel third. Oh, they're giving Trumbo second. That's what the argument's about. Mark Haley's wondering, why does Mark Trumbo get second base? Now here comes Bobby Magianis. He's probably wanting to know, why doesn't Flint Whipkey, why isn't he awarded home? And the discussion continues. Dr. Everett, I'm working with Amy Austin in the communications department, and later this spring and summer we're going to highlight 17 different patients who received diagnostic treatment and care of their maladies, illnesses, injuries at your hospital, and they're going to do what's called a home run for life. They're going to get to run around the bases between innings live in front of our big crowds this summer, and we're going to tell their story.
I think any time that the patients and their families can tell their story, it's a moving experience, and I applaud you for having them.
It humanizes what you do.
Absolutely. It really brings it home in terms of the significance that we make and the contributions that we make to their lives.
And so much of it, from the time you walk into the university, first impressions mean a lot. First of all, Flint Whipkey has been awarded home plate, so the Kernels lead it 1-0 here in the second on that wild throw by Ciriaco. Trumbo at second, still only one out, and the red-hot Dallas Morris, right-handed batter, open stance, looks at a pitch low, a changeup. Morris is 4 for 9 in this series. Do you know, Dr. Everett, that whenever I go to the university, usually to meet with either Shelley Laubensheimer or Amy Austin in the communications, there are folks out front with yellow and black jackets that greet you. Here's a high, lazy pop-up down the right field line, and Séptimo is in fair ground. He gloves it for the second out of the inning. So Dallas Morris skies to right near the line, a fair ball, 2 gone. There are people that greet you and make you feel comfortable from the moment you drive in. I wonder if they're volunteers.
Some of them might be volunteers, but they're probably most likely what you're talking about, a part of the valet service.
Yes.
But we have about 1,200 active volunteers in the hospital. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the folks you've run into out and about in the front of the hospital there aren't just pure volunteers.
You guys do a marvelous job of taking away the big feel that a hospital can have. I think you employ over 7,500 people. You said 1,500 nurses, yet there's a calming effect when you walk in the doors, a reassuring effect, and I can't put my finger on it other than the people that are there want to be there, the staff.
They absolutely do. Again, it's a passion, it's a calling, it's a real need that these folks have to serve others and to contribute to their well-being.
And, brother, do they do it in a world-class style at University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. A 1-0 pitch is slapped foul by Marco Albano. Marco is making his Colonel home debut. He played in a couple of games in Lansing, Michigan during our 8-game road trip. Marco Albano from Boston College, right-handed hitter, straightaway stance, trying to give the Kernels another run here in the bottom of the second with Mark Trumbo leading away from second. Big lead by Trumbo. I mean a big lead. The lefty Schreppel delivers. Line drive into the right field corner. Fair, extra bases. Mark Trumbo will trot home to make it 2-0 Kernels. Marco Albano speeds into second with a 2-out stand-up double. And it's 2-0 Kernels here in the bottom of the second inning. Marco Albano drilled an extra base hit, a double, down the right field line to the left of Leyson Séptimo, the right fielder. And he gives the Kernels a 2-0 lead here in the second inning. Well, let's talk a little baseball, Dr. Everett. Do you like baseball?
Oh, I love baseball.
Are you an Indians fan, a Tigers fan?
Well, I used to be a Tiger fan. When I lived in Ohio, I certainly followed the Indians quite a bit. And so, yes, I enjoy it. I don't get out as often as I'd like to.
None of us do unless we're in the profession. And when I was a little kid, my dad, as a surgeon, would make time. He could never do much spontaneously because he was always on call and doing the kind of service that you do at University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. But he'd take us to ball games, and I'd sit up there at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and the luckiest guy in the world is that guy or gal that gets to broadcast the ball games. And thankfully, it's been a great joy for me to do it here for the Kernels. And we do have such a great relationship with your community because we don't compete against the Hawkeyes. We draw people who want to be entertained, and you have a lot of people who have disposable income that want to have cultural and entertainment, and this facility draws them. The 2-0 to Kuhn. There's a strike. Dr. Everett, you mentioned your husband. Is he in healthcare?
No, he isn't. My husband is an electrical engineer, and he's retired.
Okay. Well, he probably, if Rockwell ever needed him, they could give him a call.
I'm sure.
You met how?
We met in Michigan many years ago at a dance.
That's the way to do it, is to get out and put yourself out there. I've just joined eHarmony because of my lifestyle, and you just have to make time for trying to meet good people.
Absolutely.
Ball 3 low to Brad Kuhn, 3-1 to the Colonel leadoff batter. He reached on an infield single in the first, but then was picked off by this lefty, Ryan Schreppel. Runner at second, Marco Albano, 2 gone, 2-0 Kernels, bottom of the second. Strike 2, Brad was willing to take that pitch, and the count full now to Kuhn. Well, Dr. Everett, on behalf of the Kernels, we want to thank you and Linda Chase, who took the time to come, Shelley Lobensheimer, who organized it, B.J. Hannon, and the 70 others from University of Iowa and hospitals and clinics. This is it's a thrill for us to know that you think enough of what we have to offer to come tonight.
Well, we're really pleased to be here. We look forward to this night now for the second year in a row, and hopefully we'll be here again next year.
I think so. We've already built upon the success of last year. The weather not quite as inviting with the overcast skies, but everybody dressed appropriately. We're still working on doing at our end, we're trying our darndest to get a sponsor so that besides the hot dogs and getting on the field and having the videos and enjoying it, we'd like to give everybody a memento or souvenir, but maybe next year we'll have that sponsor.
That'd be great.
Because a lot of people, I think, would love to be associated with what nurses give. The payoff pitch to Kuhn. Slapped into left center. It may fall, and on the run, Upton makes a dazzling catch. Justin Upton used his great speed to outrun the baseball, and dashing to his right, he took a hit away from Brad Kuhn to end the second inning. Dr. Everett, I don't want to let you go not only without thanking you, but was there any other fact or philosophy that you wanted our listeners to know this evening about your hospital, University of Iowa hospitals and clinics and nurses?
Well, I just think that there's just nothing like the nursing profession for a young person or a person who wants to change careers to give some serious consideration to. And certainly at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, we have all there is to offer in terms of education and experience in dealing with various illnesses and diseases. It's just a wonderful place to work, and I would encourage anyone out there who is a nurse, who would like to be a nurse, to give us a call.
Well, that's a great way to wrap things up. Dr. Linda Everett, enjoy the rest of the evening.
And thank you so much, John. Nice to see you.
Dr. Everett, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Linda Everett, along with Linda Chase from University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. The Kernels strike for a pair in the bottom of the second. After 2, Kernels lead South Bend 2-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
If your spring cleaning plans include throwing out household furniture items, be sure to follow the instructions on the orange bulky item collection flyer you received in the mail. Up to 4 items, such as couches, mattresses, and box springs, dressers, wooden desks, and bookshelves, would be picked up by city crews. However, appliances, TVs, computer components, and scrap metal will not be collected. Your orange flyer will tell you where to dispose of such prohibited items. Thanks for using your orange flyer as your spring cleanup resource.
Rogers here for Peck's Flower and Garden Shop, and the next big item this spring that Peck's would like to encourage you to think about acting upon is Mother's Day. Pex is your professional FTD and Teleflora florist, and they can deliver your Mother's Day gift of flowers and plants almost anywhere. You can choose from one of Peck's many thoughtful fresh flower bouquets and growing plant arrangements. Pex will create the perfect floral gift for your mom and deliver it for you if that's what you wish. Order early now while you're thinking about it. It's easy. Just call Pex 393-5565 or stop in. They're open 8 to 8 weeknights and until 5 on weekends. Or you can visit Pex online at www.pexflorist.com. Well, wasn't that a neat thrill to have someone of the magnitude and kindness of Dr. Linda Everett, Associate Director and the Chief of Nursing at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. We're underway in the third, and Moose Mosebach is even on the count to Greg Thompson, left-handed batter. Thompson, a 300 hitter, takes low for ball 2. In the Kernels' second inning, 2 runs on 2 hits. Both doubles, 1 big Silverhawk air. Here's a pitch wrapped to first on 2 hops, knocked down by Trumbo. Mark tosses perfectly to the pitcher Mosebach covering. That's a 3-1 putout. First baseman to pitcher, and that's exactly the drill the Kernels were working on this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Kernan Ronan was out with his pitchers, and they had to sprint from the rubber on a ball hit to the right side of the infield and take the throw and find the base. And at practice, what do they say? Practice makes perfect. 1 out here in the third. 2-0 Kernels, and Pedro Ciriaco, who was charged with an error in that 2-run Kernels second, takes outside, ball 1. Ooh, a bouncer over the hill. This will be a tough play for Stacia. Hindley scoops and throws the batter out. What a terrific play behind the mound by Hindley Stacia. That ball just did vault over the head of the pitcher Moose Mosebach. And with Pedro Ciriaco running, I thought for sure that Stacia would have little chance of getting him. But Hindley cut in towards the back of the mound, gloved the bouncer on the grass, and whipped his throw to first. 2 gone here in the Silverhawk third inning. A mammoth cut by Leyson Séptimo, and he fouls it straight back. Séptimo has 6 hits in this series. 6 hits for Leyson Séptimo. Look out, a pitch brushes him and clips him on the jersey. He's fine, and Leyson Séptimo has reached, having been hit by a pitch. Séptimo has been the man for South Bend in this series.
Number 16.
Justin Upton with 2 out and 1 on now bats. 2-0 Kernels. Moose Mosebach comes set. Fires just inside a fastball. Upton delivered a perfectly executed hit-and-run single in the top of the first inning, but then he was picked off by Moose Mosebach, and the Kernels got Leyson Séptimo trying to steal home. Here's a squibber foul up the third baseline. We'll be giving you a complete look a little bit later this evening at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And again, we'll have our Springhouse trivia question coming up probably in the 7th inning tonight. We're looking forward to our next set of visitors. Strike 2 called at the knees from Moose Mosebach to Justin Upton, the bonus baby. That's putting it slightly, or putting it, understating it. He signed for over $6 million, 18-year-old Justin Upton. The 1-2 for Mosebach. The runner goes, and a pitch grounded to third takes a room service hop for Morris, who fires across the diamond to get Justin Upton. Leyson Séptimo was running on that 1-2 pitch, and Upton chops out to third. No runs in the third for South Bend. No hits, a hit batsman. There were no Kernel errors, and South Bend leaves a runner aboard. They've now stranded 3. We go to the lower half of the third on Nurses Recognition Night. Kernels lead the Silverhawks 2-0. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Diet Pepsi is taking you to the movies. All kinds of movies, like horror films.
Hey, there's a guy with a hockey mask outside. Let's go see what he wants. Okay.
Sci-fi film.
Gentlemen, we're in luck. Those aliens speak American.
Kung fu movies.
Your English voiceover looks terrible. Taste my nunchucks.
Teen flicks.
I am so ugly. Well, you'd be hot if you ditched your glasses and your nerdy side ponytail. Oh my gosh, I am hot.
Foreign film.
Le fresh fries, the French toast.
Baguette, le bourgeois.
Les croissants.
Crime films.
So did you find anything?
Only this computer disk labeled totally incriminating evidence.
I'll keep looking.
Introducing the Diet Pepsi box office promotion. Find a code in specially marked Diet Pepsi packages. Collect and enter codes at dietpepsiboxoffice.com to redeem for a movie ticket, even to action movies.
Well, the bad guy's dead. I'll just turn my back. I can't believe you fell for that.
Light, crisp, refreshing Diet Pepsi.
Subject to official rules, void where prohibited in 63006. Multiple purchases required. See website for redemption details.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
Here we go to the home half of the third. Heinle Stacia, Patrick Riley, Jordan Renz, numbers 2, 3, and 4 in the Allen Motor Company lineup. 2-0 Kernels. Ryan Schreppel in 4 starts has a 1-2 record. 23 innings pitched. The lefties allowed 23 hits in 23 innings. Struck out 13, walked 7. The league hitting .271 against lefty Ryan Schreppel. Heinle Stacia flew out to right his first time up. And ball 1 is upstairs to the Colonel switch-hitting shortstop. The flag above the 403 sign in right center is being... Here's a drive into left. Coming on is Greg Thompson. He's there and has it. Sounded better coming off the bat than it was. Heinle must have hit it off the trademark. 1 gone here in the Colonel third. The flag is being unfurled just a tad. So a very, very slight breeze blowing out from home plate to right center field. Pat Riley singled and stole second in the first inning, but was left aboard. Riley wears his white home trousers all the way down to his shoe tops. Red batting helmet. Wide ash bat. Open stance. Lefty against lefty battle here, and Schreppel misses low for ball 1. South Bend's pitching staff has had its problems this year. They're ranked last in the league with a 5.17 team ERA. There's a pitch in the dirt, ball 2. Playing well off the line at third for the Silverhawks is Harvard-educated Tyler Hendricks. In fact, Tyler's a good 25 feet off the third base line, about 10 feet behind the bag, but 25 feet off the line. So the Silverhawks left side of the infield plays Riley to pull. Ball 3 upstairs to Patrick Riley. The Colonels slugged 2 home runs in yesterday's win. 1 by Travis Schlichting, 1 by Jordan Renz. And that brought the total number of home runs hit by the Colonels this season to 8. Ball 4 is upstairs to Pat Riley. And for every Colonel home run swatted this season, PRC's Community Care makes a $25 donation to the Haycap Food Reservoir. PRC is proud to support this Home Runs for the Hungry initiative that's aimed to help eliminate hunger in our community. And so far, PRC's Community Care has donated $200 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. Now cause for concern, the Silverhawk lefty may have hurt himself. Wellington Cepeda, the pitching coach, along with the Silverhawk trainer, Scott Jones, and manager Mark Haley are all out to look at lefty Ryan Schreppel. They're not going to even watch him take any practice or test throws. He's going to stay in the game. So the trio of Silverhawk staff heads back into their third base dugout. Lights are on here. It's overcast. Bottom of the third inning, 2-0 Kernels. Jordan Renz struck out to end the Kernel first inning. He homered and doubled twice yesterday. A throw to first. They have Riley picked off. The first baseman, Byrne, throws to the shortstop, and Ciriaco puts the tag on Pat Riley, who tried to get back to first but couldn't. So Pat Riley is the second Kernel picked off by lefty Ryan Schreppel. Maybe that whole visit to the hill was a big decoy or mind game, because Pat Riley was caught flat-footed, literally flat-footed, and he was picked off. The caught stealing goes pitcher, first baseman Byrne to shortstop Ciriaco. 1-3-6, and there are two away here in the Kernel third inning. Big curve is high for ball one to Renz. Well, throughout the second inning, we welcome Dr. Linda Everett from the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. And in the fourth inning, we're going to have Sue Novak and Kelly Prunty. In fact, it looks like Sonia Massey's saddling up one of those two great nurses from St. Luke's, and we'll find out which one is with us here in just a moment. Strike one to Jordan Renz. Two away here in the third inning. Renz fouls one into the screen. Well, do we have Kelly or Sue?
Sue.
Sue, thanks for coming.
No problem.
It's great to see you in a Kernel sweatshirt.
I'm a good Kernel fan.
You must be. Sue Novak is with us, and she's from St. Luke's here on Nurses Recognition Night. And Sue, for those that don't know, we often see the term RN in publications, newspapers, and on staff boards. Here's a high fly ball into shallow center. Out to get it is Ciriaco, and the shortstop gloves it for the final out here in the third inning. Jordan Renz pops to short. No runs in the third for the Kernels. A walk, a man picked off. There were no South Bend errors. The Kernels leave no one. And we're going to keep it right here after three. It's the Kernels leading the Silverhawks 2-0. Sue, in essence, what is an RN?
It stands for Registered Nurse.
And there's a lot of training that goes into earning that certification or distinction.
It's schooling. There's a couple different kind of programs. There's a 4-year school, which is the bachelor's degree. I went to a 3-year school, which they don't really exist anymore.
Okay.
And then there's at Kirkwood College, they have a 2-year program also.
Where did you go to school?
The St. Luke's School of Nursing.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. And is it no longer in existence, or has it been kind of shifted to Kirkwood?
It's actually no longer in existence.
Okay. Well, I visit the communications department with Laura Rainey, and it looks like an old dorm.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, but they've remodeled it. I mean, it looks beautiful. Right. They put windows in every office space, but I wondered if that used to be part of the nursing school.
That was where the nurses stayed.
Well, we asked Linda Everett from University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics, Sue, how she caught the bug or how she was called to nursing. And the reason I think that question bears an answer from all of our visitors tonight is it's interesting to find out how people decide or want to become nurses.
It is. I like the sciences, and I was going to go to school and just get a bachelor's degree in science. Didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I also liked people and dealing with people. So it just happened when I was in high school, the nurse recruiter from St. Luke's was there, and I thought, that's exactly what I want to do. So I just fell right into it.
Well, that's neat. And, well, you hit the nail on the head with having to have the interest and expertise and training in science coupled with the bedside manner, the ability to communicate, comfort, reassure. And that is why I think nurses, I'm biased because my dad was a surgeon, and he always said the nurses were kind of the heroes that helped him achieve helping people. It's a special, it's kind of like being a minister, Sue. It is more of a calling than just a job.
I think so. I really enjoy it. I like taking care of people and making I feel a difference in their lives.
And that's one thing you can't place any kind of price tag on. Brian Byrne rams a one-hopper to the shortstop Heinley Station. Heinley wings it to first. A hard hit ball by Byrne, but he's retired on the first pitch here in the fourth inning. 2-0 Kernels. Sue, I'm going to adjust your microphone up just slightly. There you go. And now, you're in the Digestive Health Center, and that all has our stomachs churning because we've all had tummy aches. My dad used to take out appendicitis. We're all concerned about obesity. What do you do in the Digestive Health Care Center at St. Luke's?
Well, I think what I'm going to tell you isn't going to make you feel any better.
That's all right. We're in reality therapy here.
We do colonoscopies, and we do gastroscopies and bronchoscopies. So we look into lungs and stomachs and up in colon.
Hey, and I'm at that age where 48, where that needs to be on my daily or my yearly physical, as Moose Mosebach has fallen behind Orlando Mercado 3-0 here in the fourth inning. Mercado grounded out to second in the second inning. He's a .246 hitter, and he's ahead 3-0. There's a strike. Some of those procedures you just mentioned are relatively, in healthcare terms, relatively new, aren't they?
Well, they're really not. Colonoscopies have been around for, 30 years.
I did not know that.
The procedures have gotten better over time, and the equipment has gotten better.
Good.
So they're much more popular now, and the procedures have become more easier on the patients.
Yes.
and things like that. So.
Well, I'll tell you, with the rise, we're having a Cancer Awareness Night here in August through Oncology Associates. Our players will be wearing pink jerseys, and they'll be auctioned off to help Relay for Life. The term colonoscopy has hit home with me. Here's a foul off to the left because men are stricken. I believe, you'd know this, Sue, I think almost 1 out of every 3 or 4 men is at risk to develop colon cancer.
I actually don't know the statistics, but it's for both men and women, and especially people over 50.
Yes.
So once you become a 50-year-old, you should really be screened. And, the saying is you can't die from embarrassment, but you can die from colon cancer.
What a great moniker or slogan to remember. And I know men just a few years older than me take a big gasp of relief when they do go get their colonoscopy. There's strike 2. It's 1-2 to Frank Carreri. 1 on, 1 out, top of the fourth. 2-0 Kernels, and it's Nurses Recognition Night. Sue Novak is with us from St. Luke's Hospital, and she's told us about the procedures that she's involved helping implement. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Marco Albano glides to his left, shovels it to the first baseman for the out. On to second goes Orlando Mercado. Man, Marco Albano had to go a long way to his left, deep in the hole, but the ball wasn't hit too hard by the left-handed batter, Carreri, and down to second goes Mercado. He's in scoring position for Trey Hendricks. And as far as the screening goes, Sue, once the patient has the screening of their colon or lungs, or what was the third area they should have checked?
We actually look into stomach, so gastroscopies.
About how long? Here's a ground ball to short. Heinley Stacia reaches down to get it, throws from second base, and gets the batter, Trey Hendricks. It went 6-3. Well, we're going to pick up right where we left off with Sue Novak in the bottom of the fourth, and then we'll welcome Kelly Prenti in that inning as well, as we're celebrating and recognizing nurses during this special time of spring. Nurses Recognition Week begins May 6th. No runs in the fourth for South Bend, 1 hit. There were no Kernel errors, and 1 stranded by the Silverhawks. They've left 4. As we go to the home half of the fourth, it's the Kernels leading South Bend 2-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Kernel team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Kernels' parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. On Nurses Recognition Night, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Kernels struck for a pair off lefty Ryan Schreppel, aided by a throwing error from the shortstop Pedro Ciriaco, and Brett Martinez is first up for the Kernels, facing lefty Ryan Schreppel. Ground ball, broken bat roller to second. Easy play for Manuel Ferrer, and he tosses out Brett Martinez. One pitch, one gone here in the fourth. Sue Novak, before we tell our listeners about a familiar name to them, I'll make the connection in a moment. Back to those tests for looking for possible cancer or problems in the stomach, lungs, or colon. After the tests are done, about how long does the patient wait until the results are known?
Actually, immediately you know if there's something abnormal or not. Sometimes we take tissue samples, and those take 3 or 4 days to look at under a microscope before the doctors get those results. But generally that day when you have the procedure done, you know if you had a polyp or you know if there was inflammation or redness that the doctor looked at, and so you have an idea.
Sure. And do you recommend the lung procedures and stomach, look at the stomach, as part of a normal physical, or is that something that a physician refers after you go to your family doctor and, Doc, I got a pain in my stomach?
Those are generally a physician-referred thing. But oftentimes, though, people who have chronic heartburn actually should get their stomachs checked out by a gastroenterologist or a doctor that can do that procedure.
Well, we can all relate to that, whether it's stress or the eating the improper kind of foods. We'll get to that in a moment, Sue. Kelly Prenti is standing on deck from St. Luke's. She'll be joining us in just a moment. The 1-2 to Whipkey is high to Flint. Sue, for 10 years, little did I know, your father, Lanny Peterson, sponsored, along with Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler, the State Farm Major League Scoreboard on our broadcast. Lanny is a guiding light to these young Kernel players. He is our host family coordinator. Flint Whipkey on a 2-2 count slaps a base hit into right. Leyson Séptimo gets it back in. Whipkey is 2 for 2 tonight. Flint has 6 hits in the series, and Flint adds to his .268 average. Your father, Lanny Peterson, has the same kind of caring approach to life as you do as a nurse at St. Luke's. He gives so much to this ball club. Does he ever talk to you about the host family guidance that he coordinates?
He does.
It's a labor of love for Lanny.
He does enjoy it. He loves the Kernels. He loves being here. Baseball's been a part of his life for a very long time, and therefore part of our lives for a very long time as well.
I remember before I moved here, Lanny, a good friend of Bob Verbacek, and they umpired together.
Exactly. Bob was a great guy.
A balk has been called on the lefty Ryan Schreppel, and that allows Flint Whipkey to advance from first to second. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Kernels lead it 2-0. Sue Novak, before we pass the baton off to Kelly Prenti, just a word about where you have an argument from Mark Haley, the skipper of the Silverhawks. He's getting into a heated rube with the plate umpire, but that balk call won't change. Sue, as far as the daily life of a nurse, what you do, are you specially trained in those 3 areas? And then do you know how to administer the procedures of a colonoscopy or taking a look at the stomach or lungs? Do you actually administer those diagnostic tests?
The doctors actually do the procedure, and we assist them.
You assist them, okay. And you're very familiar with how to explain to the patient what's going to happen.
Exactly. That's part of my job.
And that's probably the most important. My dad, as a surgeon, always said he'd take bedside matter and common sense any day over somebody who knew everything by just the book.
Exactly.
You need both, but when push comes to shove, experience is what the best teacher is.
Exactly.
Sue, any final thoughts from you about the Kernels, nurses, or St. Luke's before we welcome Kelly aboard?
I would just like to thank the Kernels and St. Luke's for this night tonight, and for all the other nurses from visiting hospitals around our area as well. It's great to represent such a great profession, and we're really glad to be here.
A high drive into deep left center, and at the wall, 380 feet away, Mark Trumbo's prodigious cloud is caught by Justin Upton for the second out here in the fourth. Well, Sue, thank you. It is a wonderful gathering this evening of over 500, 309 nurses from St. Luke's.
We rock.
You do. That's fabulous. Sue Novak, thank you so much.
Thanks, John.
We're going to bring in Kelly Prenti here in a moment. Boy, Mark Trumbo didn't miss by much, belting his third home run of the year as he sent one high and deep to left center. And I have a feeling this kind of heavy air held that ball in the ballpark. Wow, what a drive by Trumbo for a long second out. Now Dallas Morris steps in. Dallas flew out to right his first time up. He'll try to drive home Flint Whipke and add to the Colonel 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Whipke singled and then was awarded second on a balk by lefty Ryan Schreppel. A fastball down and away. It's ball 2 to Mark Trumbo. Well, Kelly Prenti, thank you for coming.
Sure.
It's delightful to have you with us this evening. And before we talk nursing or shop, I think you have a lovely daughter with you.
I do.
What's her name?
Her name is Jenna.
She's cuter than anything. How old is she?
She's 8 years old.
So here's a drive smacked into deep right. Back Séptimo. He won't get it, and it's off the wall. Dallas Morris makes it 3-0. He's rounding second. Gonna try for 3. The relay throw to third. Not in time. And it scoots by the third baseman, Tyler Hendricks, but the pitcher, Schreppel, was backing it up, and Dallas Morris has ripped a triple over the head of Leyson Séptimo. The Kernels now lead South Bend 3-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That's Dallas's first triple of the season, and I mean he laced it high and deep over the right fielder's head, and he picked it up, did Séptimo at the base of the 390 mark, and then the relay throw to the second baseman Fair through to third as Whipke scored. And Morris dove into third head first with an RBI, 2-out triple, and it's 3-0 here in this home half of the fourth inning. Kelly, what school does your daughter go to?
She goes to Wilkins Elementary School.
Wilkins, all right. That's good to know because Jeff Schneekloth invites us to Wilkins to encourage the kids to read every summer.
Yeah.
Did your daughter participate, or was she too young last year?
She didn't participate over the summer.
Sure.
She would love to do that.
Oh, I bet she's a good reader. She is a very polite, well-behaved little girl. How many children do you have?
I have 3.
3, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
she's my youngest.
Okay. Kelly Prenti is supervisor of the 5-center neurology and oncology department at St. Luke's, and we'll have her explain a little bit about that. A swing and a miss by Marco Albano. He's in the hole 1-2. We're in the home half of the fourth. Nurses recognition night, and the Kernels have given the over 500 nurses here a very thrilling go of it so far, out hitting South Bend 6-4. Morris is at third. Whipke has scored in this inning. And a broken bat looper to straightaway center. Upton broke back, now glides in and gloves it for the final out. 1 run in the fourth for the Kernels on 2 base hits, a balk, and there were no South Bend errors. The Kernels leave 1 aboard. We're going to get to know Kelly Prenti and what she does at St. Luke's in greater depth in just a moment. As we go to the top of the fifth, it's now the Kernels on top of the Silverhawks, 3-0. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and tastes, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Well, Moose Mosebach has scattered 4 hits and not given up a run through 4 innings. The Kernels' slim, tall right-hander will face the lower 2 in the Silverhawk order. And first pitch swinging, a worm burner up the middle. Heinle Stacia glides to his left and sidearms it to first. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Kelly Printy, your cute daughter Jen is here with us. You're here. And would you tell us in terms that John can understand what the neurology and oncology department does and what you do as a nurse at St. Luke's in that department?
Sure. It's a 25-bed unit that we take care of neurology and oncology patients. That's 2 different specialties, but the neurology side would be like stroke patients, patients with seizures, head injuries, things like that. And oncology, of course, is our cancer patients.
Wow. I mean, those are 2 pretty heavy topics and serious, yet everyone knows, I bet you everyone listening tonight, Kelly, knows someone, a friend or family member, who's either had a stroke, seizure, brain or head injury, or cancer. It affects life every day.
It really does.
Are you trying to help the patient recover from surgery or get ready for surgery?
Well, on the oncology end, we mostly see patients that have already been diagnosed with cancer, are going through treatment.
Okay.
We get a lot of patients that have complications from chemotherapy and that kind of thing, pain control, and just from their disease.
Well, and there's a ground ball to deep short and a backhanded stop by Stacia. He rifles his throw to Trumbo for the 2nd out of the 5th. That was a dazzling play deep in the hole on a hard-hit ball by Greg Thompson. And, Kelly, you have to have a special heart or conscience to work with people in those conditions because a lot of times it's an inspirational process and outcome, but other times the patient can't overcome the problem.
Yeah. We often say that non-oncology patients are the most thankful for everything you do, and we really get a lot out of taking care of them, doing things for them.
Whether it be a little thing or a big thing.
Right.
Swing and a miss by the batter, Pedro Ciriaco. My dad has been passed on 12 years now. He was a surgeon. He thought sometime in our lifetimes, you and ours, Kelly, that there might not necessarily... Swing and a miss by Ciriaco and a 1-2-3 inning for Moose Mosebach. We're going to keep it right here on Nurses Recognition Night with Kelly Printy. Kelly, my dad wasn't sure if there would ever be a cure, per se, for cancer. That's what he hoped for in our lifetime. But he thought we might drastically reduce the number of cases, and in your case, oncology, treat it so that people can beat it. And I think we're coming farther and farther almost every day, aren't we?
We really are. There are a lot of different cancers that are now we are able to cure them or really able to give them good quality of life and a longer life than they would have had years ago.
And part of that is research, and a lot of it, too, is the care that the patient is given. Do you work with people of both genders and all ages, or do you mainly work with adults?
It's mainly adults. We do have an outpatient unit also where we have, on occasion, some children that will come in that are usually getting their care done at the university, but they'll come because we're closer to home to do some of the simpler things, flush their ports or give them some medication. But our majority of patients that we see are adults. Yeah.
And is one of the common side effects of the treatment for cancer still loss of appetite and loss of hair and those kind of hurdles? Do you help the patient overcome those or simply deal with them?
They really have gotten a lot better with medication that they can give people to help them so they don't have such nausea and so many problems with appetite. But really it is all about symptom management while they're going through their treatment.
And at St. Luke's, are the patients visited often by clergy and family and friends, or is it mainly the job of the nurses to bolster their spirits?
Well, of course, we try to be involved in bolstering their spirits, but their family and the clergy are all welcome to come. We have unlimited visiting, and we really want the families to be involved in their care.
Well, sure. And you're trained in how to help people with cancer and also people with seizures and strokes. Oftentimes, those, Kelly, are sudden, aren't they? They're unexpected.
Yes, especially with a stroke,
And stroke patients sometimes can recover and do fine, and other times they have to learn things over again, don't they?
They do. And St. Luke's has a wonderful rehab program for patients that have had strokes.
And that's where, is it an occupational therapist that helps with that, or what's the term?
There's occupational therapists, there's physical therapists, there's speech therapists.
Yes. Ball or a strike to Brad Kuhn as we start the bottom of the fifth. It's a 2-0 game and a curve from Ryan, or 3-0 Kernels. Ryan Schreppel misses outside. I want to thank all of you listeners for understanding the purpose of tonight's broadcast. First and foremost, it is to inform and entertain. Here's a bunt by Kuhn, barehanded by the lefty. Whips the throw to first. Not a chance. Brad Kuhn has bunted his way on to open up the fifth inning. Brad bunted it between the dirt path between home plate and the first base line, only about 18 feet to the right of home plate. The ball died on the wet grass, picked up by the pitcher. He gave it a yeoman's effort, but his throw to first far too late to get the speedster Brad Kuhn, and Kuhn has his second hit of this ball game. Oh, I want to reiterate to our listeners that we appreciate them understanding the importance of Nurses Recognition Night. The Kernels would not extend the invitation or the event if we didn't think it was well worth hearing about the joys and the challenges, the rewards, and the reality of the nursing profession. And we've heard from 3 great people so far tonight. Here's a bunt by Stacia, and the only play for the left-hander is to scoop and then shovel it to the first baseman. Schreppel went to his left, fielded the bunt by Heinle, and Heinle's out 1-3, but he's credited with a dandy sacrifice. The sacrifice went pitcher to first, 1 out, and an RBI chance for Patrick Riley. Kelly, we talked earlier with Dr. Everett from the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics about the importance of trying to keep from burning out or giving all you have at work, and then the importance of trying to raise a family. St. Luke's, from what I've heard, does a great job of nurturing their employees, including nurses, so that longevity can be achieved and that they don't burn you out.
Yes, they do.
How many years have you been at St. Luke's?
I've been there for 20 years now.
20 years?
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's quite a milestone.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. And you probably wouldn't have been there 20 years if St. Luke's hadn't made it a good place for you to work.
That's right. Being a nurse, there's a lot of different options for us as far as shifts we can work. And when my children were small, I worked something called weekend package.
Sure.
So I was home during the week with my family, and I worked on the weekends. So
when you needed to.
That's right.
Brad Kuhn with a daring steal of third. He was picked off earlier from first, but he steals third, a huge steal. the 7th of the year by Brad, and now the infield has to come in for the play at the plate. The infield in for the play at the plate as Pat Riley took ball one a curve. Now a high pop foul that drifts over the third base South Bend dugout. Kelly, as far as the esprit de corps or the camaraderie, that has to be almost as strong as it is in a baseball clubhouse. You can't get anything done in a good hospital without camaraderie and good morale.
That's right. That's right. And you have to work together. Yes. I mean, the work is very hard, and we all try to work together to get the job done.
Here's a ball smacked to the second baseman. He bobbles it, and the only play to first, Patrick Riley thrown out. Manuel Ferrer had a chance to throw out Kuhn at the plate had he fielded it cleanly. He did not. It hit off the heel of his mitt, rolled at the base of his feet. Ferrer recovered in time to throw out Riley, second base to first. Riley has an RBI. Kuhn with a bunt, a sacrifice, a steal a third, and he scores, and that's playing small ball. The Kernels haven't gotten the ball out of the infield, but score a run here in the fifth and lead it 4-0. Kelly, have you made some pretty much lifelong friends from your work at St. Luke's?
Oh, yes, I have.
Great.
Yes, I have.
And I noticed you waving down to a good friend of ours, Gary Schubat. Gary's been a 11-year supporter of the Kernels as a sponsor and a ticket holder. How do you know Gary Schubat?
Gary's a great guy. His son and my son played on a basketball team together, and he coached along with my husband. And so they played for quite a few years together, and we traveled with them.
Yeah, Gary's a pretty special guy. His son, Ryan, got to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown a few years back on a trip, and Gary's daughter comes to a lot of ball games with him. Swing and a miss by Jordan Renz. It's 2-1 to the Colonel cleanup batter. Now a high drive down the right field line out of play. Well, Kelly, as far as your position in neurology and oncology at St. Luke's, are you on your feet most of the day?
Yeah, we are on our feet a lot. We work 12-hour shifts on a lot of people. You know, sometimes those turn into 14-hour shifts, so you are on your feet a lot. It's a lot of hard work.
Yes, it is. A deep drive to left. Is it up high enough? It is gone! Jordan Renz has made it 5-0. That's Kelly Printy from St. Luke's clapping. Jordan ripped one onto the Randy Kehl Confidence Picnic Pavilion, and it's his second home run in as many games, his third of the year. It comes with the bases empty and 2 out in the bottom of the fifth, and listen to the crowd. Jordan Renz belted one to left, and it just did get over the 16-foot-high wall onto the Randy Kehl Confidence Picnic Pavilion. That results in a $25 donation from PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir. It's the 9th Colonel home run of the season, and PRC, the former Access Direct here in Cedar Rapids, now has donated $225 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. Fouling one straight back, Brett Martinez. Now he socks a 0-1 pitch foul beyond the bleachers in right, strike 2. Well, Kelly, our time is dwindling, and I want to thank you and Sue Novak for taking time out of your Nurses Recognition Night to come up here and share your thoughts and your expertise about the great profession you were in, nursing.
Well, we want to thank you for having a lot of fun out here, and we really appreciate the recognition.
Well, we thank you for what all you do for our community in times of dire need, and you provide the care and the comfort and the treatment. Humpback liner by Martinez to short, and it's caught by Pedro Ciriaco to end the 5th inning. The Kernels strike for a pair on 2 hits, a home run, a bunt single. There were no errors committed by the Silverhawks, and the Kernels leave nobody on. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and our parade of wonderful nurses will continue. I believe up next we're going to have Joni McMahon from Mercy Medical Center. Kelly Printy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's Kelly Printy from St. Luke's with her daughter Jenna and colleague Sue Novak. As we go to the 6th, it's the Kernels 5, South Bend nothing. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth through reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this. Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
We open up the 6th, and Leyson Séptimo clubs the first pitch from Mosebach hard into right field for his 7th hit of the series, and he's reached base 3 times tonight. Leyson Séptimo in this 5-0 game has cranked a single into right. 5-0 Kernels. The Kernels have out-hit the Silverhawks 8-5. Now a double play ball to short. Station to second, out. Albano to first. Safe. Just too fast a running speed for Justin Upton as the force out went shortstop. Station to Albano, 6-4. Justin Upton reaches on a fielder's choice. 5-0 Kernels. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in all likelihood in the 7th inning this evening. Right now, we promised this would be a unique and informative, fun broadcast. Joni McMahon is with us from Mercy Medical Center. And Joni, it's great to see a familiar face, a smiling face. You were with us last year on the inaugural Nurses Recognition Night broadcast. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me again this year.
Jerry Trumper drafted you, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Well, that means he has a great deal of regard for you as a spokesman for Mercy Medical Center. What a wonderful friend Mercy, St. Luke's, and the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics have been to the Kernels and to this community. One of the unique things about day games here, Joni, yesterday, for example, or even tonight, we can see Mercy from here. Do you see it?
Yes.
We can see Mercy Medical Center right there on 8th Avenue with the bright white lights to the right of the APAC building. And, Joni, you do a lot of things. You wear a lot of hats at Mercy Medical Center, and what are some of them?
One of the things that I do, I help coordinate when patients come through the doors, as far as through the emergency room or when they come through the physician offices. I help coordinate to make sure that they get placed on the right units and coordinate the communication back to the offices so that there's a smooth transition from the offices of the emergency room to make sure that there's no backflow in the emergency room to the patient floor so that they can get into their room promptly. And one of the beauties that we have going on now at Mercy Medical Center is that almost all of our rooms are private rooms, so they're beautifully remodeled, and that's really nice for patient safety and the amenities that come with these nice private rooms. The other hats that I wear, a lot of times I may help assist families, getting to their patients, and also just talking with physicians and staff and a variety of other, hats that I may wear.
Well, that's a lot, and that's been the case with our visitors tonight. Nursing strike 3 called on a 2-2 pitch to Brian Byrne, and he is upset with the call by the plate umpire. He thrusts his arms up in the air in desperate appeal type motion, but he's gone looking, and Moose Mosebach has his 3rd strikeout of the game. Upton at first, 2 gone, top of the 6th, 5-0 Kernels. 2 in the 2nd for the Kernels, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. And I'll tell you what, having gotten to meet Ben Hill, your new marketing director, and working with Jeff Jansen, we know quite a bit about the breakthrough you've made with the private rooms, and I compared them to going into a 5-star hotel. And I mean that because oftentimes a hospital's not the best place to get rest, but these rooms are designed to be treated, to have patient cared for and to get rest.
Correct. And one of the really beautiful things that we've instituted at Mercy Medical Center, one of the floors, 51 Pulmonary Medicine Center, has instituted a quiet time, and it's really a wonderful thing. They actually dim the lights, and studies have shown that when they actually let the patients take what, that we know in our own lives, like a nap time, that it, promotes healing, and it lets the staff catch up on their duties, and actually the noise decibels at the nurses station calms down, and it just has a soothing effect all the way around. So we really have some innovative things going on there. And so, it's a good thing for the family and the patients and the staff to have those private rooms.
Oh, sure. And we'll talk a bit about that more in a moment. Meanwhile, the batter Orlando Mercado has lifted a high fly ball. His straightaway center, Brad Kuhn, has it. And that ends the Silverhawks' 6th inning. No runs for South Bend. 1 hit, no Colonel errors. 1 left by the Silverhawks. They've stranded 5. We're going to keep Joni right here as the Colonels come to bat in the lower half of the 6th, leading at 5-0. We have a pitching change. We have a pitching change for the Silverhawks, and a lefty has come on for South Bend, Forrest Corey. The final line on the Silverhawks starter, Ryan Schreppel, he went 5 innings, gave the Colonels 5 runs, only 3 earned on 8 hits. He struck out 2, he walked 1, and he committed a balk. And Forrest Corey, C-O-R-Y, is the new pitcher for South Bend. We're enjoying visits from experts, nurses, dedicated, caring, compassionate, professional on Nurses Recognition Night, and our guest here in the 6th inning is from Mercy Medical Center, Joni McMahon. And Joni, you used an important word that is critical to the medical field: innovation, change, creativity, cutting-edge technology. One thing people need to know about Mercy Medical Center is that they can get world-class care in whatever specialty they're looking for right here in Cedar Rapids at Mercy.
Correct. And one of the things I'd like to, we tend to be very humble at Mercy Medical Center, but we're also on cutting edge. We also have 3 nurses at Mercy Medical Center that were recognized in Iowa's 100 great, top 100 great nurses.
Yes.
And we also received national certification the past few months that were first in the nation, 2 in heart care, 1 in stroke, and 1 in joint replacement. So even though we don't necessarily boast about a lot of our accomplishments, we are on the cutting edge.
Yes, you are.
On a lot of things. We just tend to be a little bit more humble.
And that's what I call the Mercy touch. We'll get to that in a minute, too. A ground ball to third, and it's booted by Tyler Hendricks. He fumbles it, and Flint Whipke is aboard for the 3rd time tonight as Forrest Corey tries to pitch around an error, the 2nd of the evening, committed by the Silverhawks. And, yes, Joni, I know talking with Ben Hill and Jeff Jansen in your marketing and communications departments that they feel there is that fine line between letting the public know about the world-class care at Mercy and coming across as braggadocio. And you personified the Mercy touch right there by letting us know that the nurses, the 3 in the top 100 in the country, and then I believe you said you were designated as a top. Here's a high pop-up by Trumbo in shallow center. The second baseman fair ranges back 35 feet on the grass in right center, reaches high over his head to nab it. 1 out here in the 6th inning, 5-0 Kernels. Holding at first is Whipke. Joni, what were the distinctions, joint replacement, and what were the other 2 for Mercy Medical Center?
And 2 in heart care and 1 in stroke for national certification.
Yes, and what that does, those distinctions, coupled with the Mercy touch, is it reassures the patient of trust, comfort, and knowing that when they go to be cared for at Mercy, that they'll be in the best possible hands.
Correct.
We'll get to a little bit more with Joni as we continue here in the bottom of the 6th. Dallas Morris tripled home run his last time up. He's 1 for 2, a throw to first, and that one almost sailed to the right field side of the bag. Beyond the reach of Brian Byrne, he had to lean out to prevent a wild throw. Flint Whipke has 3 steals and 5 tries this season. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's 5-0 Kernels. The lefty fires high and outside for ball 2. The lefty being Forrest Corey. He's on in relief for the starter, Ryan Schreppel. Joni, I wanted to encourage our listeners if they wanted to. Here's a line drive into shallow center, and it's caught and dropped by Upton. He got a glove on it and couldn't hold it, and we'll have to wait and see if that's a base hit for Morris or it's an error on the center fielder. It looks like they'll charge Justin Upton with his 3rd error of this series. Yes, he dropped that sinking liner, flubbed it, muffed it, an error. Sends Flint Whipke to second. I think Jeff Jansen of your marketing department, Joni, told me that if folks want to have a virtual tour of one of those new state-of-the-art private patient rooms, they can do so by logging on, can't they, to your website?
Correct.
We'll have you. Here's a double play ball to the shortstop. Ciriaco underhands to fair, and Manuel on to first. Marco Albano has grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. And no error charged on the center fielder, Justin Upton. They have ruled it a base hit for Dallas Morris. But a double play ends the Kernels' 6th inning. In the 6th for the Kernels, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error committed by the Silverhawks. And I've lost one of their errors, but that's okay. And the Kernels leave 1 man aboard and have stranded 4. We're going to talk a bit more with Joni McMahon from Mercy Medical Center as we go to the 7th inning on Nurses Recognition Night. Kernels 5, Silverhawks nothing. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Yet to come here on the broadcast, our Springhouse Family Restaurant Trivia question, our baseball fun fact, but right now, it's all about the Kernels and Silverhawks and recognizing nurses. Joni McMahon is the third or the fourth of a battery or series of great folks we've had visit here tonight. Moose Mosebach on a 1-0 pitch has it fouled away to the right by Frank Carreri. Joni, there are some other important facts or characteristics of Mercy that we wanted to share, and well, we'll get to those in a moment. I'll tell you what, let's pick up, Joni. We're writing down the Mercy website, but Joni, what else should our listeners know on Nurses Recognition Night that characterizes Mercy Medical Center and that Mercy Touch?
Well, as far as the Mercy Touch, I would say that one of the things that signify a lot of the nurses at Mercy is that we come to work and we all come with, an acronym of integrity, and we have a passion for our job, and we're like a baseball team, in that we have teamwork and we have humor. And one of the things that a wise nurse told us is that, nurses are angels with practical shoes on. And, I really, doesn't matter what institution you work for, I think as nurses we're all blessed with gifts, and so I really don't like to say that, it's the Mercy Touch or this institution touch, but we're all in it together, and that we're all blessed with special gifts. But I do think that if you work at Mercy and you fit in with the culture, that you really are blessed with the gift to care, and we're blessed to touch the patient and their family and each other and the physicians and everyone that we come into contact with. And you need to take that and work with it and make it a part of your daily job.
Well, that in a nutshell is the profession of nursing, and as Joni said, Mercy Medical Center is not in the business of braggadocio, but there are some very great qualities about Mercy, St. Luke's, the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics that we're celebrating here this evening. We had a 30-second inning, and I'm going to tell you about it. Frank Carreri struck out swinging. Trey Hendricks, first pitch swinging, lined a single into center. Manuel Ferrer, first pitch swinging, bounced one up the middle. Hindley Stacia gloved it, stepped on second, threw to first, double play. And the inning took 30 seconds. In the seventh, no runs for the Silverhawks. One hit. There were no Kernel errors, a double play. South Bend leaves the bases empty. They've stranded 5. Well, Joni McMahon, thank you. As always, our time has gone far too quickly. Were there any final thoughts that you, Jerry Trumper, representing the Mercy nurses tonight, would like to share with us? Because you're welcome to, Joni, always.
I would just like to say that we, as Mercy nurses, we're nurses. There is no one closer to life itself than we are, and that we are nurses, we are protectors, and we are proud to care. And I would just say as a profession that when people say that I'm just a nurse, that's not something to say. You would like to say with great pride that I am a nurse, and you should be proud to say I am a nurse. That takes great pride. And as the Gallup poll said, when people say that with what career is most trustworthy, nurses ranked right up there, number 1 or 2, and there's great reason why that is. So
yes.
Hold your head up high and say, I'm proud to be a nurse.
And everyone here tonight has said that. They are proud to be a nurse. And, Joni, I don't think here's a ground ball. This game's going the pace of a hockey game. Brad Kuhn grounds one to third. It's knocked down by Tyler Hendricks. He throws Brad out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-0 Kernels. Joni, you just spoke on behalf of all the 500-plus nurses here tonight, all those that may be or may not be tuned in. My dad said the same thing as a doctor. It's the nurses that make it all possible at the hospital through the caring, compassion, pride, integrity, that angel in walking shoes that you talked about. Joni, would you please give everyone at Mercy our heartfelt thanks. Thank you for being their spokesperson again this year, and we can't wait till Nurses Recognition next season. Also, it's not too late for you to have a $1 hot dog. You ready for that?
George Class.
Okay, they're only $1, though. That's spoken like a true nurse. Joni, thank you so much.
Thank you, John, for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. That's Joni McMahon from Mercy Medical Center, as always, doing just a fantastic job, and we really appreciate it, Joni.
Thank you.
Thank you. Joni's going to rejoin her colleagues and friends downstairs, and our great friend Sonia Massey will help Joni unsaddle there. So, wait, Joni, go right ahead.
One thing I'd like to wish my Mercy friend a special happy 40th birthday, Tom Attaway. Happy birthday.
I'm glad you remembered. Did you hear that, Tom Attaway? Happy birthday, Tom.
Happy 40th birthday, Tom Attaway.
That's great, Joni. Thank you for remembering the friend, Tom Attaway. Here's a deep drive into left. It may get over the head of Greg Thompson. He can't get it. Rounding first is Hindley Stacia, and the Kernels have Stacia at second with their 10th hit of the night. 10 hits for the Kernels. Hindley Stacia drilled it over the head of the left fielder Greg Thompson, and with one on in scoring position and one out, the Kernels will try to add to their 5-0 lead here in the 7th inning on Nurses Recognition Night. We want to thank all 4 of the representatives of the nursing profession: Dr. Linda Everett, University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics; Sue Novak, St. Luke's; Kelly Prenti, St. Luke's; and Joni McMahon from Mercy Medical Center. Ball one is high to Patrick Riley. We'll have our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you. That'll be in the top of the 8th inning. 5-0 Kernels here in the bottom of the 7th. And the lefty Forrest Corey delivers a strike to Patrick Riley. Riley waits and hits it off the end of the bat towards the backstop. Orlando Mercado leans into the screen, and it's 2 rows up into the seats to the left of the backstop. If you've been the winner of our Springhouse trivia question already this spring, if you've been one of the 9 winners of a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse, that's great. Don't call in tonight. That'll give all the other great listeners a chance to earn their Springhouse certificate. Swing and a miss by Pat Riley on a changeup, and Riley strikes out 2 away here in the 7th inning. The Springhouse features both a chicken strip and taco salad for only $5.20. And you heard Joni McMahon of Mercy Medical Center politely decline my suggestion that she enjoy a $1 hot dog. Ground ball fair, past third. Rounding third is Hindley Stacia. He'll score. Jordan Renz is on fire. He has his 2nd straight hit, and his 2-out single down the third baseline into left field makes it 6-0 Kernels here in the 7th inning. 6-0 Kernels. Renz homered his last time up. He singles past third, driving home Hindley Stacia, and it's a 6-0 Kernel lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Joni McMahon politely declined my suggestion that she enjoy a $1 hot dog on this Dollar Dog Monday, but I bet she'd savor the opportunity to head to the Springhouse for a chicken strip or taco salad for only $5.20. Ball 1 to Brett Martinez. Kernels have out-hit South Bend 11-6 and lead at 6-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, we just might have our Springhouse trivia question for you. If this inning goes much longer, a swing and a foul back by Brett Martinez. Let's go ahead and get you going on it. The number you'll call to answer our Springhouse trivia question, 896-7589, 896-7589, and I'll have it for you in a moment. Broken bat roller up the middle to second baseman Ferrer, flips to the shortstop to end the inning. And Brett Martinez forces Renz 6-4 on a broken bat roller to the shortstop. One run for the Kernels in the 7th inning. On 2 hits, there were no South Bend errors. The Kernels strand 1 and have left 5. Here's our Springhouse trivia question. Name the Montreal Expo speedster who stole 50 bases in his team's first 55 games during the 1981 strike-shortened season. Name the Montreal Expo who stole 50 bases in his team's first 55 games during the 1981 strike-shortened season. 896-7589. 896-7589. As we go to the 8th inning, Kernel 6, South Bend nothing. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are 2 hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council world-class apprenticeship program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes. Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Moose Mosebach has spun 7 brilliant shutout innings. The Colonel right-hander is ready to go in the top of the 8th with nothing doing in the Colonel bullpen and a fastball down and in to Greg Thompson, left-handed hitting, number 9 batter, hitting .300 on the year. Greg is 0 for 2 tonight. And he whacks one sharply off the railing of the Colonel first base dugout, strike 1. We have a winner to congratulate in our Springhouse trivia question. Eric Oliver. We'll repeat the question and share the answer that Eric called in with in just a moment. Eric is working at Perfect Game just across Rockford Road. They're another great partner with the Kernels, a sponsor, and they've been with us a long time. Moose misses upstairs. It's 2-1 to the left-handed batter, Thompson. Now Mosebach delivers. A deep drive belted into right center for extra bases. It goes all the way to the base of the 403 mark. Thompson's rounding second, and he'll hold on with a leadoff double. Boy, did Thompson ever drill that pitch on a 2-1 count, and it's only the 7th hit surrendered by the Colonel right-hander. Greg Thompson has doubled into the right center field alley between Kuhn and Whipke for the Silverhawks. Our Springhouse trivia question this evening asks you to name the Montreal Expo who stole 50 bases in his team's first 55 games during the 1981 strike-shortened season. And Eric Oliver of Grantwood Drive Southeast, who listens to us every inning, home and away, from Perfect Game, gave us the right answer. Tim Raines. Congratulations, Eric Oliver. Tim Raines is the right answer. And, Eric, you'll be receiving in the mail a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse Family Restaurant. 50 stolen bases in 55 games to start the 81 season by Tim Raines of the Expos. Strike 1 to Ciriaco. Now Mosebach whirls and throws in behind the runner at second, Greg Thompson. Thompson belly flops back in safely. Tim Raines, swing and a miss by Pedro, the leadoff batter, as Mosebach's slider was low and outside, but Pedro couldn't lay off. Had Tim Raines maintained the pace he had going in 1981, 50 steals in his first 55 games with Montreal, he would have stolen a record 147 bases. But the strike prevented that from happening in 81. Ciriaco fouls one into the suites just to our right. 0-2 to Pedro Ciriaco. Well, Eric Oliver, thank you for your kind words about our broadcasts. And we're sure glad you're listening in as you do every day and night over at Perfect Game. Tim Raines, our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Answer, the winner, Eric Oliver. 0-2 to Pedro Ciriaco. A long look by Mosebach, and now the pitch, and it's dribbled foul off the end of the bat. Over 500 nurses here this evening on Nurses Recognition Night. It's 60 degrees. It's been overcast. A light breeze is blowing out towards right center field as Ciriaco waits and swings and misses at a Mosebach slider in the dirt. Strike three, and Pedro Ciriaco, a .347 batsman with the most hits in the Midwest League, 33 in 24 games, is 0 for 4. 0 for 4. That strikeout by Moose Mosebach is his fifth of the game. And now here comes poison. Leyson Séptimo. He has 7 hits in the series, 2 tonight. Takes a vicious cut. How can you let a guy get away with a swing like that? Well, we have Moose did brush him back and hit him in the third inning. This guy is swinging from the heels. I mean, he's trying to hit the ball halfway to Marion. Now he takes high for a ball. Well, I guess when you're feeling it, man. This guy has 7 hits in the series. He's batting .244, and yet he's swinging like Willie Stargell or Dave Parker. I mean, he's taking the air out of the stadiums with his swings. A slider down and in, and it's a ball. We're going to send an important message to our friend over in the press box, Andy Pantini, our Director of Technology, Graphics, and Entertainment. Perhaps he's listening now. Here's a foul off to the left. Andy, I've given my word to my helper, Sonia Massey, that you can throw me off the top of the grandstand roof tomorrow. Please, Andy, let me live one more night. But tomorrow, you can show me the way to the roof and shove me off. Andy and I have kind of an inside joke, but it was no joke when Andy came to my rescue this evening, helping me make Nurses Recognition Night a tremendous success. Well, he's gone one better than the grandstand roof. Andy thought perhaps a visit to the Alliant Energy Tower without a parachute might be more appropriate. Andy, I would have to concede to that. I should meet my maker for what I put you through this evening, my friend, but thank you so much, and I'll make it up to you in every way I can, Andy Pantini. Ciriaco on a payoff pitch takes it low, and Moose Mosebach cringes as he didn't mean to walk the hot-hitting batter, and now the Kernels have some action in their right field bullpen. And it looks like right-hander Tim Madison. It is Tim Madison. So this may be a sayonara broadcast if Andy takes me up on the offer. Here's a swing and a foul. Isn't that appropriate? That it goes right up above us into the camera window where Metro Studios has a camera, and perhaps Justin Upton was giving Andy a jump on the appropriate punishment for old John Rogers. The 0-1 to Upton. Instead, Mosebach looks the runner back to second, Greg Thompson. South Bend has 2 on and only 1 out in the top of the 8th, and the Kernels are leading the Silverhawks 6-0. Upton, a broken bat looper to third, caught by Dallas Morris. Morris then cocked the pill behind his right ear and looked Greg Thompson, the runner, back to second, and then looked Leyson Séptimo back to first. Justin Upton was jammed, and he hit a humpback liner to third for the second out of the 8th inning. Oh, what I'm kidding Andy about is we had a few unexpected fumbles by yours truly tonight on the planning for Nurses Recognition Night, but you'd never know it with Andy's adept ability to think on the run, move on the fly, and adjust to stress. And he did all of that and more in helping make our second annual Nurses Recognition Night a fabulous success. A high drive slicing deep down the left field line, and it's over the tarp, which our great friends from the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades organization sponsors. This entire stadium built 5 years ago by all union labor. And that's why the unions are proud to boast that fact on the tarp cover and on the scoreboard here. The 0-2 to Byrne, swing and a miss, and that's eight shutout innings for Moose Mosebach. A slider down and in, hit in Brian Byrne. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Moose Mosebach. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts in 8 innings. Moose Mosebach pitches around a leadoff double and prevents the Silverhawks from scoring here in the top of the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit for South Bend, a walk. There were no Kernel errors. The Silverhawks leave a pair. They've stranded 7. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Kernels own a 6-0 lead over South Bend. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, vine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. But when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talents. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
We have a new pitcher for the Silverhawks here on Nurses Recognition Night, right-hander Jonathan Valverde. Lefty Forrest Corey spun 2 innings in relief of starter Ryan Schreppel. And Corey, in 2 innings, gave the Kernels 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 1, walked none. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Clint Whipke has 2 hits tonight. He doubled in the 2nd, scored, singled in the 4th and scored, and then he reached on an error leading off the 6th inning. Bottom of the 8th, and the Kernels are ahead 6-0. Valverde's first pitch is fouled off the chest protector of the plate umpire, strike 1. Our baseball fun fact concerns a remarkable turnaround, a historic turnaround by the parent club of these Silverhawks, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Valverde fires a strike at the knees. It's 0-2 to Flint. The Diamondbacks' 35-game turnaround from their 1998 inaugural season to 1999 was the biggest in baseball history, 35-game turnabout. A curve in the dirt, Flint swings and misses, and Orlando Mercado has the toss to first to complete the strikeout of the Kernel number 6 hitter. Clint Whipke retired for the first time tonight. The Diamondbacks in 1998, their first season as an expansion team, went 65-97. 1 year later, 1999, they won 100 games and lost 62. That is a record-setting 35-game turnaround. Arizona finished 33 games out of first place in 1998, their first year in existence. In 1999, they finished 14 games in front as a division winner. Strike call to Mark Trumbo. It's 1-1. So the biggest improvement in 1 year accomplished by the Arizona Diamondbacks. 1998, they won 65 games. In 1999, they won 100 games. Strike call to Mark Trumbo on a breaking pitch from Valverde. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-0 Kernels. Jonathan Valverde brings it. A pitch in the dirt for a ball. Valverde is working in relief for South Bend for the 9th time this year. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 4 even. Valverde is the Silverhawk closer. He has 5 saves. The Atlanta Braves went from last to first from 1990 to 91, but their turnaround was not quite as remarkable. Atlanta was 65-97 in 1990, and then went from last to first in 1991. They were 94-68. Ball 3 low and outside to Mark Trumbo. Nothing for 3 tonight, although he narrowly missed a home run in the 4th inning, belting one to deep left center. He skies one to shallow right. It's knuckling in front of the right fielder Séptimo, and a very fine running basket catch by Leyson Séptimo to take a Texas League base hit bid away from Mark Trumbo. Séptimo had to come in about 65 feet on the run from his position in deep right, and he avoided colliding with Manuel Ferrer, the second baseman, and caught it as Jonathan Valverde tries to retire the Kernels in order for the first time tonight here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kernels on top, 6-0. Dallas Morris shoots one into right field. That's a single. Base hit for Dallas. Leyson Séptimo gets it back in, and Dallas Morris is swinging a hot bat. That's his 3rd hit in a row. Dallas with his 3rd straight hit. He started tonight batting 169. Let's see what he started the series at. Dallas Morris started this series Saturday night batting 125. He had 2 hits Saturday in the Kernel win. Dallas had 2 hits, 2 runs scored, an RBI in yesterday's win. He has 3 hits and 4 trips tonight. His average will likely rise above the 200 plateau. Dallas Morris prevents the Silverhawks from retiring the Kernels in order for the first time tonight. Ball 1 low from Valverde. The impossible dream team, the Boston Red Sox, in 1967 finished 72-90, or in 1966, the Red Sox finished 72-90. Dick Williams came in as a rookie manager with Jim Longborg as his Cy Young Award winner, and in 1967, the Red Sox went to 92-70. That was a remarkable turnaround, but neither of those, the Braves or Red Sox, can match what the Diamondbacks did from 98, losing 97 games, to 99, losing 62 games. A 35-game turnaround, the biggest in baseball history. That's our baseball fun fact, our Kernel fun fact. Actually, our baseball fun fact. 2 balls, 1 strike to Marco Albano. He had a key hit in this game, an RBI double in the 2nd. And ball 3 is outside to Albano. Moose Mosebach has likely finished his brilliant performance. 8 innings pitched, no runs on 7 hits. Moose struck out 6, walked only 1, and hit a batter. Swing and a miss by Albano, and now the count full to Marco. That'll mean the runner at first, Dallas Morris, will be off on this payoff pitch. If the Kernels played terrific baseball in this series. They've looked good in the field, on the bases, and at the plate. A fastball from Valverde, and he whisks it by Marco Albano. Strike three swinging in the eighth inning. No runs for the Kernels, one hit. The Colonel 12th hit of the game. There were no South Bend errors, and the Kernels leave one man aboard, have stranded 6. We'll have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen for you as we head to the 9th. Kernels lead South Bend 6-0. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
This call to the Colonel bullpen, bringing in Tim Madison to work the 9th, is sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Before we tell you about the great work Tim Madison has done out of the Colonel bullpen, let's tell you about the spectacular effort and performance turned in by 21-year-old Colonel right-hander Moose Mosebach. 8 innings pitched. He gave up no runs on only 7 hits. Moose fanned 6, walked 1, and hit a batter. Tim Madison is on for the 9th time out of the Colonel bullpen. 1-1 record, a 2.31 ERA, and 2 saves for Tim Madison. In 11 2/3, Tim has given up 12 hits, struck out 11, and walked 3. Tim Madison takes over on the hill for the Kernels and delivers a strike call to Orlando Mercado. Now a breaking pitch, strike 2 called on the outside corner. 1,205 here tonight, and over 500 of them were nurses. Ball 1, low and away. Tim last worked Friday in Lansing, a third of an inning, no runs, no hits, no strikeouts, no walks. He was a loser in 13 innings Wednesday at Oldsmobile Park. He pitched an inning in 2/3, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. A fastball outside, and Mercado is even on the count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We haven't had a chance to relay Halo happenings to you. Ooh, a breaking pitch just outside, ball 3. From Tim Madison to Orlando Mercado, who's fought back from an 0-2 count, and now it's a full count to the number 6 hitter. Mercado 1 for 3. Madison delivers. And a foul over the backstop. You could probably hear it rattle around upstairs. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization. Dallas McPherson homered. Tommy Murphy drove in a run as Salt Lake edged Tacoma 4-3 last night. A high fly ball to the left. In comes Patrick Riley, a few steps, and he has it for the first out of the inning. Orlando Mercado ran the count full. Tim Madison threw him 2 strikes, and Mercado winds up flying to left. 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning. 6-0 Kernels. Arkansas got a home run from Greg Porter, but the Travelers were edged by Corpus Christi 9-8. I've never been to Corpus Christi, Texas. It's way down on the Gulf Coast side of the Lone Star State. Grace Harris, a good friend of the Kernels, wife of the late Thermy Harris. They used to love going down to Corpus Christi. 1 ball, 1 strike to Frank Carreri. Now a line drive and a backhanded stab by Marco Albano, the second baseman. Frank Carreri hit a sinking, screaming line drive to the backhand side of Marco Albano, and he picked it clean. 2 away here in the 9th inning. Madison pumps the pitch just inside, ball 1. To left-handed hitting Trey Hendricks, he's 2 for 3. The Kernels have out-hit South Bend 12-7, lead the game 6-0. A high pop foul coming back towards the plate. Brett Martinez runs out of room, and it's strike 1 to Trey Hendricks. South Bend has committed 3 errors tonight. The Kernels none. Kernels have stranded 6. Silverhawks have left 7. This crowd of 1,205 on Nurses Recognition Night starts to clap in unison. Ooh, a pitch just misses low for ball 2. Ball 2 to Troy Hendricks. Tim Madison on in relief for Moose Mosebach. Here's a hot shot, a screaming line drive past Mark Trumbo into the right field corner. It'll take Flint Whipke a long time to get over to retrieve it. He does get to it and holds Trey Hendricks to a double. Trey Hendricks is 3 for 4 as he ripped a double past Mark Trumbo down the right field line for his 3rd hit. 3 hits now for Trey Hendricks. Manuel Ferrar is at the plate. Some fella getting grief down below for supposedly taking a baseball from a kid. I can't imagine that happening. Manuel Ferrer, 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 4 yesterday. Right-handed batter. Ferrer facing Madison. A bouncer to short. Hindley Stacia gloves on 3 hops. On to first, and the Kernels win it in 2 hours and 20 minutes, 6-0. Hindley Stacia was a busy man at shortstop. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 assists tonight. 8 assists for the Kernels shortstop. A shutout for the Kernels. Moose Mosebach, 8 brilliant shutout innings, and Tim Madison pitches around a 2-out double and gets Greg Thompson to chop out to short. Down it, or no runs, 1 hit for the Silverhawks in the 9th. There were no Kernel errors. South Bend leaves 1 man aboard. They stranded 8. 6-0 Kernels. The Kernels are a game above 500 and have won the first 3 in this series over South Bend. We'll have totals, highlights, and more coming up next on the Kernel Curtain Call here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
Back at Veterans Memorial Stadium, the Kernels celebrating their third straight victory over South Bend to vault them a game above 500 at 13-12. It was a pleasure having the nurses here on Nurses Recognition Night visit with us during the broadcast, but we have some obligations or some glad commitments we want to make to our wonderful supporters and advertisers. So I'll be back with the Colonel Curtain Call in just a moment. 6-0 Kernels here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears. And it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers.
Here we are back at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Kernels whisked aside the Silverhawks behind a terrific performance and effort by 21-year-old right-hander Moose Mosebach. 6-0 Kernels here on Nurses Recognition Night. The Kernels had a chance to score in the very first inning. Check that. The Silverhawks had a great chance to set the tone for this game. With one out in the first, Leyson Séptimo, who had 2 more hits tonight and has 7 in the series, Séptimo singled to left field. Then Justin Upton executed a perfect hit-and-run single, sending Séptimo to third. South Bend had runners at first and third with only 1 out. Moose Mosebach stepped off the rubber, catching Upton in no man's land between first and second. Moose threw to the second baseman, Marco Albano. Albano chased Upton back to first, and then when Leyson Séptimo broke for home, Albano fired a peg to the catcher, Brett Martinez, who not only caught the throw, but then incurred a collision as Séptimo bowled into Brett Martinez. Brett was sent flying backwards, but he held onto the ball, and to me, that was the turning point in the entire ball game. The Kernels taking the Silverhawks out of a first and third 1-out scoring chance in the first inning, and the Kernels then capitalized on a Silverhawk error in the second inning. Whipkey doubled. Flint's had 6 hits in this series. Whipkey doubled with 1 out. And then a throwing error on a ground ball to short. Mark Trumbo's ground ball was heaved over the head of Brian Byrne by Pedro Ciriaco, and that allowed Whipkey to score. Trumbo went to second, and then he scored on a Marco Albano double down the right field line to make it 2-0 Kernels. In the fourth inning, the Kernels added a run, a 1-out single by Flint Whipkey. He was balked to second, and then he scored on an opposite field triple by Dallas Morris. Morris's RBI triple was the first of 3 consecutive hits for the Colonel number 8 hitter. The Morris triple scored Whipkey and made it 3-0 Kernels. In the 5th inning, Brad Kuhn bunted his way on. You talk about great execution. Kuhn bunted his way on. Heinle Stacia, who had 6 assists from shortstop tonight, bunted Kuhn to second. Brad stole third, and he scored on a ground ball out to second by Pat Riley. That made it 4-0 Kernels. Jordan Renz made it 5-0 when he socked his 3rd home run of the year, his 2nd in as many games, and that home run by Renz onto the Randy Kiel-Hoffidens Picnic Pavilion in left made it 5-0 Kernels. Renz's home run resulted in PRC's Community Care adding another $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. The Kernels have now whacked 9 home runs this season, and the Haycap Food Reservoir has been the beneficiary of $225 from PRC's Community Care, formerly Access Direct. Then the Kernels added another run in the 7th inning. Heinle Stacia doubled with 1 out and came home on a Jordan Renz single past third to make it 6-0. Moose Mosebach in 8 innings allowed only 7 hits, no runs, struck out 6, walked 1, hit 1. Tim Madison came on to work the 9th, surrendered a 2-out double, but got Manuel Farrar to bounce out to short, and the Kernels in just 2 hours and 20 minutes shut out South Bend 6-0. The final line score for the Kernels, 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left 6. South Bend, no runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. The Silverhawks stranded 8. Winning pitcher, Moose Mosebach, he's 2-0. The Silverhawk loser, lefty Ryan Schreppel, he's 1-3. 1,205 were here to see it, and over 500 of them were nurses, and on Nurses Recognition Night. I'll be back in just a moment, and we'll have our PRC play of the game. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you sing. Come to Zio Giano's for the Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
We're back following a Colonel 6-0 victory tonight. 8-inning shutout performance by Moose Mosebach, and the Colonels wrapped out 12 hits. Before we bring you our PRC play of the game, just past the top of the hour, and you're enjoying Colonel Baseball on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. PRC is, if you're looking for a career opportunity with a company with a great heart, contact PRC at www.prcnet.com. A job at PRC is a job you'll love. With the Silverhawks executing a hit-and-run single perfectly in the top of the 1st inning, Leyson Séptimo was at 3rd, Justin Upton at 1st, Moose Mosebach on the mound. Here is our PRC play of the game.
And chips for only $5. 6:30 start. There goes the runner from first. Mosebach throws to second. Marco Albano now chases the runner back to third, runs him towards the plate, and he bangs into Martinez. Brett held the throw. Out is the runner trying to steal home. Down to second goes Justin Upton. And that's a perfect illustration of why the Kernels work tirelessly hours at home before games on that very rundown double steal type play. And Mosebach stepped off the rubber, threw to first, and they picked off. And then Albano, actually Mosebach never threw to first. He stepped off the rubber, threw to Marco Albano. Albano Upton back to first. Meanwhile, Séptimo tried to score. He was thrown out, caught stealing. 2 gone now in the first inning.
And it turned the entire game around, and that's why we chose the outstanding defense by Mosebach, Marco Albano, and Brett Martinez as our PRC play of the game. PRC believes in benefits. They believe in them so much they have a name for them, Life Essentials. PRC is the former Access Direct here in Cedar Rapids, and they will provide you with paid training, a casual work environment, a 401k retirement savings plan, and medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance. You can learn about how you can grow at PRC by visiting them at www.prcnet.com. That final time out here from Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we'll have a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. When we return, the Kernels have won 3 straight, triumphing tonight 6-0. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen to Mix 96.5. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Mix 96.5.
It's unheard of. An industry first. A car and truck from the same manufacturer to win the coveted Motor Trend Car of the Year and Motor Trend Truck of the Year in the same year. And the award goes to Honda. Yes, the 2006 Honda Civic wins the Motor Trend Car of the Year, and the 2006 Honda Ridgeline wins for Motor Trend Truck of the Year. And you can find them both at Randy Keel Honda on Center Point Road Northeast. Randy Keel Honda is the home of confidence. Check out their huge selection of new inventory, including the Honda Civic Hybrid, with fuel savings of up to 50 miles per gallon on the highway. You owe it to yourself to see why Motor Trend voted the Honda Civic and the Honda Ridgeline the Motor Trend Car and Motor Trend Truck of the Year for 2006. Visit Randy Keel Honda in person on Center Point Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
The Kernels have won 3 straight over South Bend, and here on Nurses Recognition Night, blanked the Silverhawks 6-0. John Rogers back with you on the Kernel Curtain Call. It's time now to take a look at the scores in the big leagues on the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Gary Shubat, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler. 2 finals in the American League. At Tropicana Field, the Rangers blanked the Devil Rays tonight 3-0. And the Tigers continue their phenomenal start as they shaded the Royals at Comerica Park tonight 3-2. In the top of the 9th inning at Camden Yards, the Blue Jays are ahead of Baltimore 5-3. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Yankees and Red Sox, with Johnny Damon returning from his glory couple of years with the Red Sox as a Yankee. 3-3, Yankees and Red Sox, bottom of the 8th at Fenway. In the bottom of the 7th inning at Jacobs Field, it's the White Sox 7 and the Cleveland Indians 5. And in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Mariners are trampling the Twins at the Metrodome 8-1. Later tonight, that rivalry renews in the AL West between the Athletics and the Kernel Parent Club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Now to the National League. 2 finals. The Cardinals bowed to the Reds tonight at Great America Ballpark, 6-1 Cincinnati. A final from Turner Field. The Braves blanked the Rockies 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 9th at Shea Stadium. The Nationals and Mets tied 1-1. Top of the 9th inning in Miami, the Phillies lead the Marlins 8-5. In the bottom of the 7th inning at Wrigley Field, it's the Pirates 1, the Cubs 1. Houston and the Brewers are tied 2-2 in the top of the 7th at Miller Park. In the bottom of the 1st inning, the Dodgers have scored a run and lead the Diamondbacks 1-0 at Bank One Ballpark. Later tonight, the Padres and Giants square off at SBC Park. A full slate of games on this Monday night, May 1st, on the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Brad Dunn. What a treat it was this evening to have over 500 nurses on Nurses Recognition Night, our second annual Nurses Recognition Night. Special thanks, as we joked earlier, but special thanks to Andy Pantini, Dale Brote, Carla Davis, Jack Rader, Sonia Massey. All the crew here made the nurses feel so special and welcome. And we also want to thank Dr. Linda Everett from the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics, Sue Novak and Kelly Printy, nurses from St. Luke's, and Joni McMahon, a nurse at Mercy Medical Center. Moose Mosebach, 8 shutout innings, the Kernels a dozen hits, and it added up to the third victory in a row in this series. 6-0, the Kernels blank South Bend. We'll be back tomorrow here on 1450 KMRY. The South Slope Communications Triple Play Show time, 6:10. Brooks at Bat. Bob Brooks will be joining us tomorrow for his visit with us. Brooks at Bat at 6:10 tomorrow evening. Thanks for joining us. Once again, this evening's final from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Kernels 6, Silverhawks nothing. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.